Welcome to another episode of the LANCESCURV show. And as promised from earlier, we have Nurse Nevaeh here with us. We also have our perpetual co-host and host, Empress Ella G. And I'm so happy to bring her on. And of course, I have to say, like we always say, especially for this type of show and conversation, it's impromptu, it's shoot from the hip, but we have to be careful because the World Health Organization watches all channels that speak on all things medical on their platform. And we have to remember that this is not our platform. We just can't do what we want to do. So this is why I kind of said here in the title, we have to learn to read between the lines. If you ask her a question on something specific, she may not be able to answer because it goes against the YouTube community guidelines. So please understand, we will have other shows where we can actually ask things specifically, but she's going to share things in a coded way. And like, again, I say, we have to learn to read between the lines. She's not just a person who came onto the show as a guest. She's a dear friend of mine. I love her righteously very much. We have a lot of inside jokes, and we met in a very unique way. I don't know if she wants to say how that is. It's nothing bad. You know, give us a little history on you. And it's hard for me to treat you just like a guest on the show because you're really family. And, you know, I was so surprised when I said, you need to come on the show. And you're like, really, really? I'm like, wait a second. You did it a long time ago. You got the inside. Look, if I'm a multimillionaire, you need to stop working. You're so close to me. That's the way it is. Oh. And she is beautiful. This is not her photo. She is more beautiful than that. I just to represent her. And of course, we're not going to say the actual name. We have to be careful. But let's roll on. My sister, please talk to me. Just come on and you end it when you want to end it. But let's take it where you want to take it. And remember, everybody, read between the lines. That's the floor is yours. Welcome. Oh, man, this is a real treat for me.
Thank you, Lance. It's a pleasure for me to be here as well.
You are the
pinnacle. Well, Lance has known me for a very long time. I mean, way before nursing, I'd say. At that time, he was a bodybuilder / bouncer at a club.
Remember that?
Yeah, at a club, and
yes, right out the front.
Yeah, and I was kind of a pimp myself, a pimpette, I should say, because I used to promote male Black Chippendale dancers way back.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
The gym. Yeah. I've been in the gym for 20 years, so you said I was a has-been back then. I ain't touched weights yet, but I'll be back.
Yeah, so he kind of caught my eye because I was thinking, ooh, he could work for me, but he didn't want to work for me, so.
No, I wanted to, but I was out of shape. I've been out of the gym for like a little less than 20 years. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, he was still looking pretty good though at that time. So, but yeah, I was leaving the club, and he was guarding the door, and And I turned around and looked at him, and I was like, "Whoa, that guy's really really fine."
You make an old man wish for younger days.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we became very good friends. Just clicked, and when I realized you worked at the jail at the time and was a correction
Yes.
officer, and very passionate about your drawings and everything that you do, and everything you do, you're just passionate about it. And so, we just became really good friends. And
Wow, and you remember that.
oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I haven't missed a day, one day ever since then. You know what I mean? And I
Really.
think you've been part of that journey. You have influenced me, even when it's times where you're busy and I'm busy. You know, there's not a day that goes by where I don't think about you. And some people say, "What would Jesus do?" I say, "Well, what would Nevaeh do?" For me, no, and you helped put things in my head of what I need to do to take care of myself. And I just have to say, you're much more than just a nurse. Your studies and everything is in different areas is way more than just a nurse. It's like a person who knows how to build cars, but they end up working in the mechanic shop in the local neighborhood. You know how to do so much more and know so much more in the medical field. And so you're chock full of information, you're disciplined, you're determined, and I have to applaud you as a Black woman and continuing the greatness in your bloodline of your ancestors, immediate and ones we may not even know. You know, you grab that baton and you're running a race and you're doing a great job. I'm going to tell it to you now. I'm not saying it to soup you up. You know, I see your postings on Instagram and different things, whatever. I'll shoot a little message here and there. You see how busy I get, but I love you with all my heart, and you're a really phenomenal woman, and I have the utmost respect for you. And if anybody messes around with you, I will take the flight over there and show you what these muscles can do.
Why don't you just take me where you are?
Exactly.
Come on out. Come on down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That sounds more like it.
Yeah. But I will say that I've always been passionate about trying to motivate other people, and I started from the bottom and now I'm here. I was a CNA for 16 years. And as a CNA, I learned a lot. I did ICU 7 out of those 16, and learned a lot. And then from there I became an LPN. I was an LPN for 4 years, working in mental health arena, and then I did my LPN to BSN, and became a mental health nurse at the beginning. But now I'm an interventional radiology nurse. So I've seen quite a few things through the last 28 years or so.
Wow.
Of healthcare.
Yes.
And there's a lot of changes, and it's really sad, very, very sad to watch what's happening to healthcare right now in the United States.
Wow. And like I said, we'll have a more, because I have another video platform that ties in with my website that there's no censorship.
Okay.
So for everybody in the chat room, don't think she's holding back because she's afraid. No, she's not afraid, but we got to do it in the right way. And this is why I have to protect her identity. As you see, she has a vast background, and even then, she's even more than that.
Right,
okay,
right.
With the hands-on experience and the intellect that she has. Again, she's more phenomenal than what a piece of paper can state, because she can tie all this stuff in together. And I wouldn't be bragging on her like that if it wasn't the truth, right? So this is an introductory kind of thing, and I want you, sister, to touch on things without going over the line, to let us, like if I say 2, 4, 6, 8, you know that there's 10 coming next. So, touch on those things, and you're going to end it because, look, everybody, be glad she's here. She worked 10, 11 hours just a little while ago. She jumped in the shower. She's here to spend some time with us. So don't think it's going to be a 3-hour show. She's got to get her. Okay. Right. And when you do come back, when we get on the other exclusive platform other than YouTube, we can just say what it is and nobody will, the boogeyman won't come and get us. So just touch on some things that we need to be enlightened on in the world today and what's happening today and what we need to do for ourselves. Give us some kind of things that some people would say this might be a conspiracy, but, without going over the line. So just free flow, and we're just going to have this good conversation.
Right.
Well, we can definitely go into the whole conspiracy thing, but I can tell you it's definitely real. It's real. It's a real thing that we're dealing with. because at this point, what we're going through at the hospital is we're basically trying to create beds for people. So the unit that I'm on, we pretty much had to shut down in order to create more beds because we have nowhere for patients to go. So there's so many people sick with this virus. And it's really sad to watch, because people here where I'm located, they were not serious about this, and just kind of walked around freely thinking, oh, well, I got the jab, so I'm good. I don't need to walk around with a mask on. So,
right.
And so, which, in my personal opinion, I'm not sure how solid it is, but, I believe that people that did get the jab are carriers of it and are carrying it and giving it to people that are not, that have not taken this jab. So they're carrying it and spreading it to others. So, and because they were so comfortable,
yes.
But of course, you get comfortable because of what our leaders have taught us to say, oh, well, they made it seem like it was a cure. And it's not just because you get a jab doesn't mean that it's a cure. It's just a Band-Aid right now. And what I've realized through the last 28 years of healthcare, and is that the beginning back in the 90s when I started late 90s, back then doctors used to teach diet, diet and change the way you eat and take this and take that, take care of yourself. Doctors don't teach that anymore. We don't teach health. We don't tell you to do anything, to improve your health. Instead of telling people, hey, why don't how's your vitamin D level? Unfortunately, a lot of minorities don't know anything about vitamin D levels. And little do people know, and they should teach this in our school system, that after the age of 30, as a dark pigmented person, you are invisible to the vitamin D of the sun. So we don't get vitamin D of the sun. We don't get vitamin D from the sun after age 30. So, so we're deficient. And unfortunately, if you're not taught that, then you don't know that you're deficient. And vitamin D plays a huge role in depression, and hair loss, and just our overall health. And if you don't know that, then you are susceptible to getting very sick. And so that's why you see a lot of minorities, I'm talking Hispanics and Blacks, that we don't have a fighting chance against this virus that was put out there for us. So we don't have a fighting chance because we're lacking those things, and we're going to eat at McDonald's and all these different places, and we're not taught how to eat healthy, or to take supplements, to try to make up for what we're lacking in our body. So then when this virus that seems to be designed to attack the weakest link in our bodies, and that's what it's doing. So you'll see it react different on different people. So, you may have two people in a household that get the virus, and then one person's fine and the other person is dying on a ventilator, because it attacked the weakest link in that person's body. And even if they thought that they were healthy, chances are they really weren't. And maybe they had some type of underlying condition that was hidden, that and this monster is what I'm going to call it. The monster, it literally latches onto it and attacks.
So it finds the weakest link in the chain, the weakest door on the house, get in. And wow, the vitamin D thing, I didn't know about that after the age of 30.
I didn't know that either.
So, I always thought that, I'm not disputing, I'm just saying, well, we're melanated, we absorb the sun, we can be out in the sun. But that kind of works against us sometimes.
It's totally wrong.
Yeah.
Totally wrong. And the reason why I say that is also when in my early 30s, when I started LPN school, I was so stressed out, single mother, 3 kids, and trying to work and go to school full time. And so I literally thought I had cancer because all of my hair fell out except for my hair around the edges, and I was bald. I was just as bald as you are, Lance, on the top of my head.
Oh, wow.
and so my kids are scared and I'm scared. And so I go to my regular doctor and he says, well, I think you're depressed. So he wanted to give me depression pills. And I said, I'm not depressed. I feel fine. I'm not depressed. And so luckily, even though I was just a CNA at the time, but like I said, I was an experienced CNA with ICU experience. And I said, I think that this is probably an endocrine issue. So can I get a referral? I said to my doctor, can I get a referral to an endocrinologist? Because I think there's something else wrong with me that you're not looking at. And so he said, okay. So he gave me a referral. I went to an endocrinologist. Not only did that endocrinologist, right when he looked at me, said, did anyone check your vitamin D level? I was like, no. He says, and also your neck has dark spots on it. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? He says, well, when you see someone with the dark spots on the neck, black on the neck, he says that means that you're possibly diabetic. And so he not only checked for my A1C to see if I was diabetic, which I was right at that border of 6.4, 6.5 is when you reach diabetes. So that's what made me change my whole entire aspect. When he says, "Oh, diabetes is right there for you," So tried to change the way I ate, and then my vitamin D level was at 16. And 16 is so deficient. That's why my hair was falling out.
Oh,
and
my.
I felt like I was dying. And so I had to take 50,000 international units a day for 2 weeks until my vitamin D level got back to the level that it needed to be. And he told me, he says, minorities do not realize if you are a dark pigment after the age of 30, you are invisible to the sun and getting vitamin D from the sun. And that doctor educated me on vitamin D levels. So I've been taking vitamin D ever since. And this is, I'm not going to say how old I am, but that was from my early 30s until now.
You said something about your early 30s. How you going to talk about being in your early 30s? You ain't hit 29 yet. Give me a break.
Exactly.
She does look good. Yes.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. If there was a blackout in that part of town, the people don't have to worry about it because see, you're glowing so much that it'd be light. You look absolutely so good. You do. You look well.
Well, thank you. So, so I just, I truly, and even as a mental health nurse, when I was a mental health nurse, what happened, the medical doctors in that facility realized how important vitamin D was. And so it became a protocol at the mental health facility to test the blood levels of every individual that came in for depression, test their vitamin D levels. And I guarantee you, the majority of people that came in with depression had a vitamin D deficiency.
Amazing. There's a link between that correlation.
Yes.
Someone in the chat wants to know, what should the D levels be?
You definitely want it to be at least between 30 and 40. And is a normal vitamin D level. And like I said, mine was at 16.
Wow.
So where I was extremely deficient to where, my hair was coming out.
Right.
Right.
Is there anything that you have to take with D in order to make it more, for your body to accept it more?
Well, right now, okay. Well, pre-virus, I would just say, with vitamin D and a multivitamin, because even the multivitamins don't have enough vitamin D for us.
Right.
So, you want to at least have at least 2,000 international units of, or 2 to 5,000 international units of vitamin D per day, depending on what your vitamin D level is.
Right.
So, and you won't know what your vitamin D level is just going to the doctor, because a lot of doctors don't check for vitamin D deficiency.
Right.
So you have to actually go in and say, hey, can you check my vitamin D level? Which you need to find out if your insurance company will pay for it, because it can be kind of expensive. If it doesn't, it'll be like $1,100, you know, or you can try to see if there are programs that with the labs like Quest Diagnostic or LabCorp that can check the vitamin D level for a discounted rate. One of my friends did that, and he only paid $70 for the vitamin D level. So yes, you can always ask for that as well. But right now with what's going on, vitamin D, that's a must, that's mandatory. Zinc, definitely take that. Vitamin C, you know, I mean, if you're not eating, which the majority of our population, as you can see, and that's why so many people, we've lost so many individuals through this whole pandemic, you know, they're not eating right. You know, they can't get all the vitamins that are required or nutrients that's required. You know, you don't see people sitting around eating, you know, carrots all day long or whatever. You know, I mean, people, realistically, you need to get supplements, you know. So, you know, so you need the zinc, you need vitamin C, you need vitamin D, you know, and to, you know, just need that daily.
Right.
Yeah.
This makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, so what if someone said, you know what, I'm going to assume that I have a vitamin D deficiency and I'm well over 30. I'm going to just go a little harder on the vitamin D. And like you said, they had you take 50,000 international units for 2 weeks. Now, I wouldn't suggest anybody go out and just take a wing at it, but we need to take a good amount to be sure if the sun can't see us. Correct?
Well,
I mean,
well,
would it be, since it's a fat soluble vitamin, I believe that vitamin D, there's a saturation level, I would believe, and what would be too much at first, like instead of becoming toxic, you know?
Right. Because the thing is that, I mean, I wouldn't just go, I mean, well, for you to get a hold of 50,000 international units would be kind of, you're not going to get that over the counter. Let's put it like that.
Okay. I'm thinking, you know, I get something smaller and just take a lot of it.
No, you're not going to get that over the counter. So what you're going to get over the counter, you're going to see, you can see 2,000 to 5,000 international units in a bottle, okay, per day. That's what you're going to get over the counter. But anything extremely high, you're going to have to get prescribed to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I will say that, you know, when this whole thing started, this whole pandemic started, I was like, so like, oh my goodness, you know, in a panic mode to where I started taking all kinds of things. So I had the oregano oil, which by the way is amazing. So I'm putting oregano oil drops under my tongue. I was taking my vitamin D, my multivitamins. I'm taking I took elderberry. I'm sitting, I mean, I was taking everything. And then guess what happened? I started feeling funny.
Oh man.
And I started tasting
overload.
I was overload. I started tasting metal in my mouth. And so it was then I had vitamin toxicity, which is a thing. And a lot of people don't realize you can overload on vitamins and become vitamin toxic. So you don't want to sit there and just say, okay, you know, I'm going to not get sick and let me just go ahead and take all these pills and I'll be okay, because taking too much of it can be not good either, because you're going to start tasting metals. So it's not a good thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just so much to really take in. I wrote the list and I have everything here with me, but it's like certain things just kind of neglect. This, like I'm scared of that because I know that can happen. I mean, when I was a young teenager, it's crazy, but I used to collect vitamins. I'm talking about like in the 70s. when I was going to the High School of Art and Design, and there was a what's the name of this place? It's around now, but it's one of the early stores that were out on Second Avenue. The Vitamin Factory. Was it Vitamin Factory? Vitamin Shop. Vitamin Shop.
Mm-hmm.
The Vitamin Shop, right? And it had to be, I don't know if it was in different states, but back in the late 70s, they had one right there on Second Avenue on 54th or 53rd Street, 55th, right around in there. And I used to just go in there, you know, have a little extra allowance money or money I made with my father or something like that and go, let me look at this. This looks interesting. And I had a bookshelf for the whole top was full of vitamins. The next shelf going across in front of the book. I got to find that old picture. I had everything, right? And I was just taking it because it's like the more I take, I was a fanatic, and I'm quite sure I was vitamin toxic at that time. But to me, it was a good thing to do. So you're right. And I guess especially if you get a little older also, you got to be careful with these things, correct?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, because I know, like, with me, I mean, I like the last 3 years, I've really changed my whole lifestyle. You know, I mean, I'm pescatarian and, you know, and then I'm like really sitting around trying to count calories because, you know, once you get to your late 40s, you know, then you want to, you can start gaining weight pretty easy. You know, it's hard to lose weight, you know. And so, you know, but you also have to think like for me, I drink a protein shake every morning for breakfast. And then that protein shake, also when I was vitamin toxic, I'm looking at what's in the protein shake and you're seeing all these vitamins. You're seeing the vitamins in the protein shake, you know. So you got vitamins in the protein shake, and then you're taking about 20 other things, you know, on top of that. Is dangerous, you know. So you just really have to be careful, especially as you start getting older, you know. Because,
right.
Yeah, our bodies can't really tolerate that much, you know. Not like when you're young, you know, we tend to abuse ourselves when we're younger. And, you know, and then as we get older, we start to feel the effects of it or suffer the consequences of it, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This thing, where do you see this thing going? I mean, I'm here in Ghana and there's very few in comparison fatalities with this here. I mean, in comparison, they have them here. And I tend to speak in a conspiracy theorist, like so-called or whatever. But since you're telling me things, I'm taking it to heart because you said it, because I trust you and I know you, right? But here, there's not, they can't enforce certain things here because like when you go to the markets, and it's a traditional African thing, and you know, we have the same flavor in the Caribbean and wherever we are, South America. In the markets, we're all up on each other. But it seems as though that the health of the people, even folks that are poor, they're eating non-GMO quality food, getting exercise without having to try to get exercise. And they're so healthy here for the most part, unless those with a little more money can afford to have the bad food, so to say. But what's the future of this thing coming up?
Well, let me tell you, I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm a nurse. And, you know, just with this past year and a half, watching things and doing my own kind of research, which I can't, like I said, my research means nothing. You know, my research means nothing in comparison to what people like. I mean, a lot of people will say, okay, unless you're at the PhD level, your information means nothing. So, but anyway, so with my information, that probably means nothing to the, you know, the doctors or whatever. But, you know, what I'm noticing, because with this virus, it has to cultivate in your throat for at least a couple of days. So if they're saying it has to cultivate in your throat for a couple of days and before it goes down into your lungs, you know, don't you think oral hygiene has a big part in this? You know, for me, you know, my background is Haitian and Dominican, and you know, and I noticed that even in those islands, you know, it's very low rate, you know. And I mean, yes, diet may play a part in it, but I also think hygiene, your oral hygiene, could play a part in it too, because you know, brushing your tongue, you know, gargling, You know, my mother was Haitian, and my mother taught us how when we brush our teeth, you got to gargle. You know, you're gargling and you're brushing your tongue, and you know, and
scrubbing your tongue. You're not
you're
brushing
scrubbing
it.
it. Yeah,
Scrubbing it.
exactly. You know, so the oral hygiene, I think, does play a role in it as well. And you know, a lot of people don't brush their teeth or take care of their mouths or tongues twice a day, or not even once a day sometimes. You know, and so you're giving this thing of time to grow in your throat. You know,
Mm.
and then it has time to be able to move on. You know, go down lower. So I think if you know if you have you know Listerine or whatever in your gargle, you know, after you brush your teeth, you know, for me this is just something that I have kind of noticed, you know, in this past year and a half, you know, that maybe oral hygiene could take play a part
Yes.
as diet. And you know, and I think you're right. You know, even the homeless person. Well, if you think about it, even here in the United States, you don't see the crackhead getting it. You know what I'm saying? You don't see the
For
poor
real.
people on the street getting it. You see, you know.
I can make jokes about that, but I'll keep it decent tonight.
So, so why is that? You know, what is it? Is you know, did they build some type of immunity toward
No.
this that?
Creator forbid that, crack is the answer. You know what I mean? Like, you're dying of this thing, and if you want to live, you're going to have to get a hit of this thing.
Exactly.
For real.
Maybe it is. They're not dying from it. Wow. That's a heck of a thought.
Exactly. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I just really think that, I mean, honestly, it's really, really bad right now. It's worse than it was a year ago, from what I'm seeing, and just with our issues at the hospital, and what it is doing now, it's attacking younger people. It's attacking people in their 20s, and we had a 25-year-old die the other day, and a 28-year-old. You know, really, they were expecting to let go of today, and you know, and you just see younger people that they say
Oh
had no
man.
health problems, you know, but then what else? What did they have? Asthma, and another thing is you see people that smoke cigarettes or people with any type of lung issues or asthma, it attacks them and they don't have a chance with this,
Mm.
you know. So, you know, it's just a mystery. It's like in what was out last year, this what's out this year is way different from the version last year, to where it's acting opposite.
Wow.
And so it's tricky to treat this year.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because see, last year you could give, um, you know, like clot busters, you know, because it
Mm-hmm.
was creating clots in the lungs and that kind of thing. And with the what is that? The new the you know, I don't know if I can say the name of
Mm-mm.
it on here, but the one that is really destroying people right now. You know,
Oh,
if you
I
give
mean, Delta Airlines.
Delta Airlines, that's
We'll
correct.
say it that
So
way.
yeah, so if you give the same clot busters or try to treat it the same way as the version of last year, you'll see people bleed to death. You know,
Mm.
it's not a clotting issue like it was.
Wow. And these are
Wow.
things that most people just won't be privy to knowing. And you're giving us an earful and a lot to think about, And that's why I'm glad that I'm kind of, you know, away from the masses and more so and soon. But for those who are still, and we spoke about a lot of things that could prevent things, but first and foremost, if a person just doesn't do anything right, what's the first and foremost thing you got to tell them? Because now I'm hearing that, and this is confirmed, even bus drivers down in Miami,
Hmm.
7 dying
Mm-hmm.
in 7 days. And, they're saying all this stuff. And there are people who have to go to work and don't have vehicles. And they got to get on public transportation. And there's the paranoia above and beyond. And I understand that, because it's like you're fighting an invisible opponent where you can't
Yep.
see how to land your blows. So,
Hmm.
first and foremost, what are the definite things you got to avoid doing? The
Huh.
definite things that you would
Well,
feel.
number one, I mean, those little people have to realize that, okay, the mask, okay, even pre-virus, if we're going to do a procedure on you, I told you I'm an interventional radiology nurse. So when you're on the table and we're cutting a hole in you, we always had to wear a mask. So that way we don't put our germs on you while you're on the table and you're open. So people don't seem to understand every surgery that was ever performed pre-virus, we had the people in the room had to wear masks to protect you on that table.
Right.
And you as a person, would you want every person in the room while you're having surgery to be breathing on you? No, because all of our particles would get on you. So I don't think people realize how important wearing a proper mask. I'm not going to say a cloth mask like these little washcloths and these little bandanas and stuff that people are putting on their face. That's not going to do anything because you can sneeze and cough right through it, and those particles are not going to be filtered. So, so if you have, a level 2 mask is what we call, one that has a really good filtration, or even an N95, which I know it's very hard for people to breathe in N95. Then it will protect you more because what I'm noticing, even in Florida or these a lot of these states, people are not wearing masks at all. And so if you're the only person just sitting in the room with a little level 2 mask, that's not going to do anything for you because you got 100 other people around you that are not wearing a mask. And,
wow,
so you're not going to be protected. So, so it's kind of best to wear a good mask if you're going to be in a crowd, like, like a respirator mask or,
Right.
Something, that it would actually protect you, which to me makes no sense to go into a concert with a mask and you're the only person in there. It makes zero sense. Don't even go in there. Why expose yourself, to an invisible monster and you don't know who a carrier is. So those are two things right there. Wear a good mask and stay out of crowds. And as a bus driver in Miami, I mean, how do they know who's getting on the bus with it?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you, just the other day, sitting in the waiting room and I hear this woman just coughing, and I'm like, okay, I'm all N95, got my shield on. I mean, I treat everyone as if they have COVID,
Right.
So,
Right.
and so she's just coughing and she's like telling the other people that's sitting around, oh, it's not COVID. I just have allergies. But every person that has had COVID either said it was allergies or they thought they had a cold or a flu. So that's how it starts.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's scary because you don't know who has what.
So I think we touched on it a little earlier, but anxiety. Anxiety and stress, or the perception of something that stresses you, meditation, quiet time, slowing it down a little bit, will that have an effect on your immune system? Of course, the answer. But,
definitely.
In this fast-paced society where we've gotten away from all things natural and slowing down a bit, because having these smartphones in our hand, the first thing we do when we wake up is check the Facebook timeline and all these different things. Not all of us maybe, but we, like, even now these days, I am just like a monk. I'm living, so I get more done online, but it's just peaceful. Some days I don't even come out. I mean, I'll go out in the yard or something like that, but I get on my bicycle and I'm just take longer walks by the mountains. It's beautiful. And
Right.
it's done so much for me, and how much that would really help those who are in an environment which they're away from those type of things. So what would you suggest for them to, even a walk to the park? What would you just suggest to people who don't have access to the hot equator sun like I do?
Right.
Tell me.
And that's it. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that. They don't, to be able to just escape sometimes, and being in the city really doesn't help, a lot of people. And right now, I mean, the depression rate is through the roof for so many people. And I hate to say it. One of my friends, her son committed suicide last week. He was only 19 years old.
Oh my God.
And it's because we live in a very stressful time.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
you need to turn off that TV, get rid of the news. Don't
Mm-hmm.
watch the news anymore.
I agree.
Social media will do you in, because this whole getting the jab and not getting the jab, and then people are splitting, amongst each other because of this.
Families. Yeah.
Yes. And,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, if you don't have the jab, then guess what? You can't hang out here. You can't even come here,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like very stressful, because people are like, should I get it? Should I not? If I don't get it, then I'm going to be banished from society, and if I do get it, then I'll belong in society. But then if I do get it, then what are the long-term effects, or whatever. So it's such a stressful time we live in right now. And not only that, but then we're dealing with earthquakes and hurricanes and all the natural stuff that's coming behind it. So if you can escape in any way that you can, and for me, I literally have to pray. I pray throughout the day, because that's
Yeah.
that's how I make it, because I have to pray before I get in my car, and just ask God, for strength, because I want to be the best nurse I can possibly be. But guess what? I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted,
Mm.
because
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
have to wear this whole gear of stuff, every day. And I'm wearing long sleeves, to protect myself. And I'm sweating a lot of times, and I'm still trying to be happy for my
Wow.
patient, and I'm exhausted
Yes,
after.
please tell us a little more about that, because we see caregivers, nurses, doctors, different things, and we don't understand from their point of view what it's like. It's like maybe a police officer is really like a bad example in this time, right? But you're the real people who are brave, because you're walking into this, and and you see the people laying down and what's going on
Right.
amongst other things that are pre-existing already, the regular stuff
Oh,
plus this stuff, and you're going in the belly of the beast, and you have a good heart to do what you want to do. But what about your side? Who looks out for you? I mean, how do you deal with this
oh,
every
I'm just
single
telling
day?
you, it's very hard. It's a challenge,
Mm.
because healthcare, like I said, is not like it was in the late 90s. In the late 90s, it was all about patient care and making the patient happy. The customer's always right and blah, blah, blah. But now, no, it's all about numbers. Who has insurance? How many days are your insurance going to cover? And
Mm.
with this new virus here, a lot of people don't have insurance. And guess what? And somebody's got to eat up. Somebody's got to eat up the cost. And so it's very stressful, because they want to push people out as quickly as possible out of the hospitals, but with this virus you can't. It's eating up money. It's eating up a lot of money in the hospitals. And so the government has given a lot of money to the hospitals. But the thing is that everything is numbers, 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 and production. And so so I can't sit and spend too much time with a patient. You know, you're frowned upon. But the thing is,
Mm.
it's so hard,
Right.
because the patient doesn't see my teeth. The patient doesn't see my smile. So I have to express myself in my voice and my eyes. You
Wow.
know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and my smile has to be in my eyes, and that can be tough, especially when you're tired and you're trying to focus on breathing in a respirator mask, or in the
Mm-hmm.
N95.
Mm-hmm.
And and what's really sad is when you have a patient that is not doing well, that comes in. Like, see, for me, I'm not a nurse that works the regular floor. I'm a nurse that sedates people for procedures. And a lot of the procedures are mainly people that come in with strange cancers, or we're trying to find out what kind of cancers you have. But we also get people with this virus that come in and that need tubes put in. So I have to sedate them, to get tubes put in, like gallbladder drains, if all their organs are starting to shut down and that
Right.
type of thing. So I get those people, they come in, and I have to work with them here and there. Um, and the problem is that those people are not getting visitors. They can't get any visitors. And it's really sad because with this virus, it's a lonely death. It is truly a lonely death
Mm.
because you have no one around you that loves you, unless you get a nurse that cares. I mean, for me, I pray with patients. I'll do silent prayer or whatever. I pray for them. When I leave work, if I see someone that is suffering, I'll pray for them. Um, but it's really sad to see someone not be able to have their loved one come visit them or be with
Right.
through
Right.
this. So it's a lonely death. So it's very hard, especially when you care. I mean, I didn't get into healthcare, um, for the paycheck. I mean, when I first started, like I said, I was a CNA, and I was making $6.45
Mm-hmm.
an hour. I was
Mm-hmm.
making $6.45 an hour. So at that time, it wasn't about making money. It was about, just I want to help people, and it is still about helping people. But don't get me wrong. I thank God for the income now. But it's just you want to still care, but it seems as if the higher ups make it difficult for you to keep smiling or to keep pushing because you have a productivity that they need, and it's not about the patient anymore. It's about how much they can make. And that's what just kills your morale sometimes, you
Hmm.
know.
Wow.
I can only
Wow.
imagine. Yeah.
Let me just address a comment that you don't see that's on actual Facebook, because we're broadcasting on Facebook, and it says, "So you guys will not answer questions. Why are you on live then?" Can you ask me a question or answer me a question? Who the heck are you? Number one, if you paid attention in the beginning of the show, you understand that if you see the title, we have to learn to read between the lines. World Health Organization pimps YouTube and the community guidelines that if you give medical advice concerning COVID and don't just discuss general things, your channel shut down. Do you want that? I know there's a few people here who would love to hear that. But
Right.
if we're here from the beginning, all right, you'd understand that I said within the first 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to have a hardcore show that will answer every single question, but it will not be on YouTube. It'll be on my site, on my own video platform. Okay.
Right. Right.
So if you didn't hear it, if you don't know, now you know. But what arrogance in the question, if you're not going to answer, what are we doing? Look, we can do what we want to do. Okay. She is my friend for many, 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 many years. And she worked all day long, and she's taken the time to come here and speak in general. You see, because if you want to take us in risky waters and jeopardize the platform, maybe you one of them dudes who, women or whatever, who are like, because I got a lot of them around me, information gatherers, frenemies, all types of people. But I'm just letting you know that's how we do it here, because I'm not afraid to speak of anything, but we can't be dumb. Okay, so you had your 2 minutes of fame. Sorry about that, sister. And I know you worked all day. That's why I said you end it. You know me. I'll stay up all night. I'm not hinting for you to end it, but just understand you are a giving, loving, sweet person.
Right.
And it's
Well,
not like you're somebody I just
And I
met.
could see she's tired. You could tell
Yeah,
and
I
she's
could
on
see.
call. She's on call tonight too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not telling you to go because I'm learning a lot, but
We want to
you
preserve you and have you be
you
able to
need
come
to
back on. So
catch
if you're
your
feeling,
sleep.
sweetheart,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
get your sleep. You
well,
did so many hours. You took a shower, probably woke up a little bit, but I know you well, and I can see it hitting you right now.
Yeah.
Um,
well, I appreciate you, and yeah, definitely. If it was not such a taboo type conversation, then I would definitely be open with questions, or answering questions.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
yeah.
So I guess, Brother Lance, we can do something for Patreon. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, exactly.
we could, you know, even if we can't, we could act. People could put questions in the comment section. You know, go into the comment section and
Right.
put all your questions in there, and we'll gather them, and then Sister Nevaeh can answer them on a Patreon show. You know, and then that
Exactly.
can be put up.
Exactly. And I want you also, sister, to, you know, get your PayPal together, get your Cash App, because you're giving out valuable information that took many years to absorb, and you have the hands-on experience that we cannot question you. And I would not question you, because again, I know your heart personally, and for the things you said tonight is definitely changing how I viewed some things, me being the in-house conspiracy theorist, right? So there are still some things in the gray area. There's something that you sent me that was quite profound with a little Dr. You know, Fossey there and his wife. So I'm going to share that stuff too. But I just want to keep your identity where it is, and for you to come and step out and even say what you said between the lines. And we'll look forward to a show that we're going to do that you tell me that you're okay to do and what date, you know, because I know you run a tight ship and you push yourself so hard. Phenomenal, and you're still pushing yourself hard, but you still look so good doing it.
Right,
so
right. Yes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you both. You know, for
allowing me. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to meet you. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely a pleasure meeting you. And this is a subject that, you know, as it intensifies the next couple of weeks, which you just look forward to it. Just hold your horses, because this is I don't know. The next 2 weeks are going to be really, really tough for the United States right now.
Thank you so much for this. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, you know, so anytime, you know, I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot more to talk about in the next couple of weeks.
Hit the like button, guys. There's 145 people watching, and this is great information. Can't get it anywhere else. Hit the like button, please. Yeah.
Yes, y'all take care, okay?
Yes, indeed. You too, my sister.
And reach out to me. I'll let you get your sleep tonight, but thank you. There's so much more coming, and just everybody send positive energy to her, because she's doing this. Yes, it's a job, but she's doing it out of her heart. From the way in the days when she was just starting and studying, and you know, ups and downs and things. She is literally a superwoman, but you know, no one should have to be labeled that, but you give so much of yourself, and what you do is underappreciated, and you are our hero. Okay, understand that. And I do love you very, very much.
Love you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Take care.
You. Nice meeting you, Miss Ella G.
Indeed, my sister. Thank you.
All right, y'all have a great evening.
Take care.
Good night.
All right.
Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah, you know, it's she's a very rare person.
Yeah.
You know. Yes. Like she said, we met when I was bouncing in one of the clubs after working in the jail. That's funny.
See, so your stories are true after all, huh? We have someone validate.
But you know, I think I've had more than my fair share of stories. You know, but it's great that, you know, there are people who can sign off on it. There's a lot of people that they say, "Man, you got too much damn stories. You're lying." And I'm like, man, I can't lie and say it didn't happen. I'm just always at the right place at the right time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But no, I didn't. I think back to that time when she wanted me to do the parties, you know, because she was running. She jokes and says she's a pimpette and everything, but she wasn't really a pimp or anything. But she kind of orchestrated and ran a little company where they had, you know, guys working for her that were male strippers. Now, you know, I ain't been in the gym since '85, and this is like probably like 2003, 2002, 2003. So I'm knowing her just under 20 years. But when I came out of the academy, we had done so much running and push-ups, and you know, I slung a few weights around when I was there, but we were only there for like 4 months, but I didn't do like any major training or whatever. But because we were running every day and whatever, my body sucked it up, and people there were like, "Yo, dude, are you taking steroids?" I'm like, "No, my body is muscle memory." And it comes back when you have a foundation from young, you imprint the tissue. And yard work gives you a pump, and you look a certain way quick without even trying. So doing that little bit of training, and when I came out of the academy, I was 38 years old when I came. No, was that 38? No. Let me get it right. I was 39. No, man. I was 38. I was 38. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it kind of whipped me into a shape that wasn't like my old picture, but it whipped me into a shape that most normal people are like, man, you in shape. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not at my best. And I'm always saying it about myself. So that's why I didn't do any work for. I would have. I have no problem getting naked, but you know, I got to look right. She's like, you look perfect. Oh my God, you're so built. And I'm like, nah. So anyway,
So
that
it
was
never happened. Oh dear.
So that's how we connected. And, you know, she saw what kind of person and I see what kind of person she is. And we just became very close. And we don't get to talk to each other every single day, but she's there. And anybody I know in my inner circle who's wonderful, I always acknowledge, especially when I see them pushing and going over and above. She's like, let me tell you something. If I'm going crazy on a rooftop, picking people off, she's one of them, just like you and several others, that say, listen, Lance, stop this now. You're doing something wrong. And I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain people who can get to you. And yeah, she's helped me on many things with advice on health ahead of time, because she knows. And she told me, like, she's blunt, not blunt like rude, but you want me to tell you, well, this is
straight
this.
up. Yeah.
One doing this is what's going to happen, whatever. I don't want to see anything happen to you, but this is the facts. And so, you know, she's giving me things, you know, under the table that, you know, that help, and, you know, take this, take that, this vitamin or this, whatever. But just wonderful. So we need people like that in our lives, because if she sees you and you're talking to her and she spots something and she said, listen, how is someone, this is not a job for her. This is how she lives.
That's her life. Right.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Right.
It's not like she's, you know, and she can get, you know, worked and you get tired, but she always does it with a smile on her face. And like I say, I give people their roses while they're alive.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
and she needs to have those. And that's why I told her, you know, she's doing good for herself and everything, but I want her to set up her stuff so even I can throw her something, you know, because lots of times when folks bless me, I turn around and bless somebody else under the table and they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, you know what? I'm helping people too. Even when I don't get, I still help and do whatever I can any time of day and night. And she's one of those people. But for me to honor her is a blessing to me to honor her, you know, and yourself the way you are. Because a lot of folks don't know how much you do and how much heart you have and how much love you have in your heart. And that's what it is supposed to be, especially when we get to certain ages.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, although I feel like one. I mean, that Oscar De La Hoya video, I was like, I was high on something. Boxing is my thing. You know what I mean? But, you know, I've learned to pull back on the speed. Now, don't soundbite me. I don't take speed. I'm talking about speed as far as my speed through life. I kind of slow down a little more, and to get more done and to absorb more while getting even more done. Right. I have the time for it. You know, I'm technically retired and stuff, but I'm not retired from life. So now I have more time to do stuff and get into the stuff, and there's a lot of good things coming. And this is more than just doing a YouTube thing because I'm some older guy sitting around. I'm not sitting around. Y'all know what I'm doing right now. And when Mrs. SCURV comes out with her everyday cooking stuff and stuff in the garden, and I can't just say garden, it's like daggone forest back there, you know, of fruits and foods and things, because right now we're eating everything out of that place where our projects are being built, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, she brings back huge whatever all day, 8-9 hours. She gets up at the crack of dawn, she's up there in the mountains working, planting. We got seeds from places that, you know, they couldn't even grow in America. This is the most fertile. We're on the equator, 0 latitude and 0 longitude. So that is her job, and we're eating off of it right now.
That's fantastic.
We're eating off of it right now.
That's fantastic.
It's too much. You have to give stuff away. You know, she's, oh, what do you want? I'm going to bring home this, and that. I'll bring me home some potatoes. You know, bring some collard greens back. Bring this, maybe a pineapple. Maybe it's popping right now.
What? The pineapples are growing?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, remember in Orlando, where Central Florida, the soil quality is poor unless you dump some topsoil. And remember, she grew up farming.
Yeah.
She's not a weekend athlete.
But I thought pineapples took at least a year. A year and a half.
Well, remember, we've been here about a year.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
You know what I mean? She was going up there from then.
That's true too. Yeah.
You know, she basically chopped down the whole, you know, bit of land. You know, I'm doing other things and I go up there sometime, but that's her thing. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
right.
in the sun. It gets a lot done too, you know. So those results we will be showing hands-on every day, cooking the stuff from where it comes out of the ground, and full meals, okay? Full gourmet meals from your backyard.
That's awesome.
I'm taking a back seat on that channel. I'll be running things, but I'm not going to push scurv. You all know who it is. You'll see me. But the algorithms of how YouTube comes against me and they take subscribers, they unsubscribe people, but we're still doing well, you know. But that particular thing there, it'll blow up. And to answer the individual who I keep forgetting, but they said, well, we do call-in shows and talk about health and talk about food, and we'll do that once a week, you know. And like with us, we'll do the food show, you know. Which
yeah.
If you know how to cook pork real good, I have a recipe. I'm not putting no barriers on that. On the health thing, yeah, we know what's good, we know what's bad, but it's a cultural thing to bring people together. They want to come on the live stream and show, you know, even in live time, you know, just them cooking something and we can show it on the screen, that kind of thing, to bring people together on so many different levels. I got the time for it. And I'm sacrificing,
right,
you know, and this is what I want to see done, you know, on the food thing, the health thing, the farming stuff, and you know, I'm looking for that GoPro, that one that's coming out this month. I'm looking every single day. My other one, the battery kind of messed up, so you know, it kind of got stuck and blew up inside the other one. I was using it so much, right? So it got hot, and it was like, dang, I'm burning out a GoPro. So
what?
GoPro 10, I'm going to keep it, and soon when I'm driving, you all will have footage. Not just, well, I'm doing this once a month. Every daggone place I go, and when I start driving and going up in the mountains, way up in the mountains, where you got to get off and walk up, take a motorcycle, and then to go walk up some more, another 2 miles, way up. Yeah, you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there with me. You're gonna see.
I'll be there with you from here.
No, you coming out. A lot of folks are coming out. You know,
listen,
a lot of folks are coming out.
Wherever the car stops, that's where you leave me. That's terrible, isn't it? Oh God.
But my thing is to make you feel like you're here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The good, the bad, the ugly. To make you feel like you're here, make you know that you're here. You can have somebody on the ground here. But I'm centered, I'm balanced, I'm focused. You know, I'm getting to bed on time. Now, I'll make a sacrifice on a Friday night, on a Saturday night. But during the week when we do our morning show, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know, for at least 90 minutes. Sometimes they're going on for 3 or 4 hours, depending on what I do. And, you know, doing the graphics, improving the music, and doing all the things just to be a student of the game. And like I said, drawing tablet here. We got the T-shirts coming soon. I got another module here that's going to give me more special effects. You know, if I didn't have these shows tonight, I would have already worked on it. I got the right wires for it. And like I said, I'll have a dedicated space for it soon. And we're going to have events in that space. Okay, there'll be live shows. And when we do a comedy spoken word type thing, it won't be a cramped situation. It'll be every day. Well, we're going to do that show every day. But when we have it on a hangout adult level, there'll be the colored bulbs and the nice music and the microphones up front on the stage and whatever. And I say, God, dog, what are you? I'm a mad scientist with it. If I do something like, you know, I'm going to do it with passion. And like I said, for the young ladies, we have a couple guys with nice 6-packs and pecs. And we have a couple of ladies there serving some drinks with a little thong or bikini on, adult, and little high heels and stuff. You know, in the background, they'll be like, you know, I'm not watching the show. God, dog, look at that person in the back. It'll be adult, you know, and then we'll come around with our morning stuff. Then we'll come around with the health stuff.
Right.
You know, because I want to have a little space to put a little.
We're going to put the schedule together because, you know, with all of that, we're really going to have dedicated times for everything. So we're going to work on that.
I love it. Yeah. And I need you to reel me in too, you know.
I tried. I broke my fishing wire. I broke my fishing wire. Even outside of comedy night, I broke my fishing wire.
Oh wow! I'm corrupting you, right? Because Kenny, New York City 1. I have a few questions for you because you know I'm pretty good with the pen and pencil, but things have evolved, and I've done a few things with another digital pad that I had, but I got another one. It's another Wacom. I think you Wacom. We know about that as men, but Wacom. I have that, and it's the one that's like about $400. Say it's pretty good.
See Joe Netball.
yeah. You know, so that's the thing. You know, yeah, you're right. You can't reel me in. I'm gonna get to keep it.
It's a waste of time now, Joe.
But your email address is kenny.newyork@yahoo. I see a comma there. Was that a typo, or just type it in again the proper way so I can get it, and I'll connect with you. And of course, my email address is lance@lancescurv.com. I want to know the best program to use. I have Mr. Scurv has a top of the line Apple computer back there that she merely surfs and pays bills and, you know, does a few things every other week, every 3 weeks. And I'm sitting here with the regular PCs, and I should be the one using that. But no, she says, okay, I'll let you use it. I know a lot of things are just Apple only. There's some programs that are just Apple only. I'm ready to upgrade at ASAP. But the programs that you would use with a digital tablet like that, the best ones. I've done research, but I like to hear it from people who got their hands on like that, you know?
Right.
Okay, bet. I'm gonna shoot you email. I'm gonna shoot you like not a blank email, but I'm gonna shoot you email that doesn't have much, so you have mine, and we'll just start the dialogue, and then, you know, possibly we can talk. Now my iPhone is in the shop. At the store getting repaired. I dropped it in some water and the screen is severely packed. So I'm waiting to see if I get that call. When you do call me, like the contact information, you call straight through. I have an app that allows that I can just talk forever as long as I have my email, my internet connection. I have all of that hooked up, and it's all good. So I'm ready to produce and do things and keep things interesting all day, every day. This is a super hobby, and it's kept me from a midlife crisis. Like I said, I'm getting close to 60. I'm so close to 60. If I move the wrong way, 60 is going to call me up and say, hey, I'm pregnant. So I feel good. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to train. I'm ready to ride the bike. I might get him ride the bike now, and it's already like 2 o'clock on the button right now out here, and 10 o'clock on the East Coast.
Right, it is.
Yeah. It's a good feeling to feel good, you know?
Of course.
I want to keep my health.
You want to hear something funny? As she was talking about, I had to put myself on mute because I realized I hadn't taken my supplements all day. So I was over here taking my my oregano, my what do you call it? Oil of oregano pills, and my black cumin seed pills, and my D3 with MK, and I'll take it every damn thing. I'm probably gonna. I'm about to take my sea moss now.
You got your concoctions ready, right?
Listen, man, I got everything, and I put my vitamin C pills in my water so they can fizz out. Listen, it's a terrible thing, you know.
Yeah, we just got like 8 barrels from the United States. You know, everybody got together and threw some stuff. I'm like, man, you know, so we have a whole ton of vitamins already, and we got all these different ones.
Awesome.
So I'm kind of scared that I've been overdoing it. I have a tendency to do that, you know. We got this liquid, this pill, this powder, this, that, and all the healthy things.
Awesome.
We're growing that stuff up there, so you know, yeah, we'll be all right. But
you'll be all right.
Yeah. But before I put myself out as an example of a physical specimen when I'm 60 years old, I got a lot of work to do. You know what I mean?
Sherelle said she was gargling like crazy, like hell.
During the show, like, oh, let me go do this.
I was like, and guess what? I just bought 6. I just ordered and got them in 6 big bottles of hydrogen peroxide. So listen, I'll be gargling, spraying, doing everything. Drinking my colloidal silver. I was doing everything.
Yeah, I got to get some of that too.
I was doing everything over here. I had to put myself on mute. You know, it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh shit.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Oh God. I was serious. It's a terrible thing, you know, because like I have the colloidal silver in a mister bottle, right? And I'm here and I'm misting my eyes and I'm spraying in my nose.
all type of extreme things, right?
I do it all the time. I do it every day. But it's like you're sitting here and you hear it, and I realize I haven't done anything all day, and I'm like, oh my God.
There's a girl in the mall talking real loud. She was in the line in front of me at the Apple place, and she was telling a friend of hers that and they're from the UK. I guess they were visiting or whatever,
right.
And black folks, from the UK. So she was talking about she was dating this guy for a while, right before COVID started. And, things were getting hot and heavy, a little foreplay and everything. So she was like, oh, I was just so ready, to give in and just let things flow. And then I found out that a family member of his that he lives with caught COVID. And it's like, listen, it's quits. I'm breaking up. We can't do this. Poor guy.
Oh, God. You just made me belch.
Because that night... a verbal fart. Because that night she was talking smack to him, then he messed himself up.
Oh man.
Had to be hospitalized. He's like, what?
Oh no.
And they went into some phone play talking like later on, but nah. She's like,
forget that.
It can't be. I can't put myself at risk like that.
They can always play over the phone.
Right? That's messed up.
She could keep playing over the phone. That's all they can do.
No, she didn't want to do that. She was just totally turned off. Like, I was like, wait a second. You think someone's going to get through the phone?
Jeez.
Well, the ultimate would be to get something just from looking. Then everybody's walking around with blinders on.
Oh my God. Listen, don't even make joke about that. Remember that movie that came out a couple of years ago where whatever the hell it was, you couldn't look at it? Because if you looked at it, that was a wrap.
That's messed up.
Okay. So
messed up.
Don't be talking stuff. Don't be talking stuff.
Bring yourself into existence, right?
Right. Thank you for being here, Kenny NYC1. Thank you so much.
The email is basically going to be a blank email because I'm running all these controls and things in front of me, but just to connect that way.
Do you have his email, Lance? Did he give you the email?
Yes. It's I'm going to scroll back up again and look at it and put it back
Kenny,
in.
Can you put it in one more time, please? Your email. So it's
Kenny.NewYork@yahoo.com.
Okay. You got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to send it to him now. Let me just
all right.
Okay, Kenny New York.
Did you see the
Yes,
the video with all the flooding?
The subways that I'm so used to traveling to,
man.
and water shooting out like that, man. You could have put a thing and it would have went through.
Yeah. And there a couple of people drowned in their basement.
That's crazy.
Yep. And a little boy, I think a little boy or a little girl, young child with their mother. Yeah, that is freaky. That's heart-wrenching.
No, but really and truly, thinking about it, New York City is not really ready for that. Like the water thing going on. I thought about it. Well, all the tunnels and all the sewers and stuff, they're ready for the heavy rains that are normal heavy rains, but something like that, a rush like that, where does the water go? I mean,
exactly.
They can't tear down the city, the infrastructure underground. It wouldn't be ready. I mean, it had 50 years. Right. And who's going to do that? Where's that money going to come from? Look how things are with the economy and all over, really. So, I don't know.
And a lot of those basements too, you have to go outside, like you walk down those steps.
Mm-hmm.
I hate those. I don't like it at all, where you have to go around the back and you walk down the basement, the step, and go down into the basement. So if water is rushing down, where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? All that water is just going right down into the basement, and that's a wrap.
Yeah. Quick too.
Quick, yeah.
And those you got to bend down when you go down there, and it's tight and
exactly.
Like
you really hit your head on the concrete. Yeah, no, don't like it. Don't like it. Mm-mm.
Not like those Atlanta basements where they're like, part of it's in the ground, part of it's
outside. Yes.
Yeah. It's high ceilings. I like the high ceiling thing. So, like I said, everybody will soon see. So we're gonna hook something up nice and share that whole thing and experience. And I want it to be addictive in a good way. In a positive way where you feel like you ever go to a place that's like a health food store, but the food tastes so good it's better than the junk food. It's like I can't this is health food. But that's what I want to constant thing, even when you can't make every show, because we're putting a lot of hours in, and you know,
as soon as my mother comes home, that's gonna be a wrap for me.
I know.
Okay, listen, enjoy me now, guys.
Empress Elegy won't be as accessible.
Enjoy me now, because
wow,
I'll be crying the blues.
Unbelievable.
I love my mother, but I'll be crying the blues.
Wow.
But
yeah,
that's all right. It is what it is.
So what I'm going to do, we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have our special guest. We have to confirm that. We won't say right now.
Right.
I have some tentative people that I can dig up from the crates and say, hey, come on today or whatever. And we don't know the phone calls I'll get. Lots of times we get a phone call. And Queen Red Pill, if you're free tomorrow, it wouldn't be over the phone though. Like I said, my iPhone is in the Apple store right now, you know, getting repaired from dropping down in the water and everything. Some really cookie. Oh man, I just knew it was the end of it. You know?
I tell you, man, I'm still having withdrawals.
There's some people out there that think I'm not answering them back. No, that's not the case.
That's not the case. Yeah,
you know, I have my Ghanaian number, but nobody will call that because that will be a long distance call. You know, so we don't want that. And I don't have WhatsApp on that one. I keep it on the other phone to not confuse, because people used to put it on the Ghanaian number and on the regular American phone, and find the other number and call that. It's like, which phone are you calling? So I wanted to all go to that 407 number, the American line. And if you are in America, you can call straight through and you will not incur any extra charges on, you know, like, okay, it went through. Am I paying for this? No, I have a special app for that. My own.
Oh, I need to take off this thing, don't I? I need to take off the Ghanaian number off of this thing, don't I? Or can I leave it?
Oh, you mean on the, no, you, well, I mean, you can leave it. I mean, I kind of took it off. I might leave it for the people who are here in Ghana.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But I don't use that phone as much. All my heavy lifting is done on the 407 number.
Okay.
So again, if you're in the United States, and I think also Canada, Mexico, you can call through straight and the app will make the phone ring. And if you text, it'll go straight, it'll go straight to my email. And if I don't pick up, it'll go straight to my email as a voicemail. So I'll still get it. But I keep my, I have my desktop internet here that stays in the house, and I have my other one that stays in my pocket. Mosquito, get your ass, get over here. Just one in here. He's haunting me.
Oh my gosh.
One, and it's like, and they tease me. I'm fast. Like, I got fast hands for a guy my age. I'm like throwing him out there hard trying to grab him. He's just whizzing away nice and smooth. I'm gonna be looking like a crazy man over here, looking at things that don't seem to exist, trying to grab at things. Like, did that guy lose his mind?
How you looking in the clothes department?
Huh? Say it again.
I said, how are you looking in the clothes department?
I podcast naked tonight. I had my shorts, my t-shirt, my slippers on.
Okay.
And just the extra measure, I put a little repellent on me. Not that it's that bad, but
Okay.
you just don't. I just hate. It's like they got me. It's like a game.
I don't like them either. I know.
There's more ego now. I let my ego come out in this way. Them damn mosquito, and it's one of them.
You should have heard yourself just now.
Yeah, because I was trying to kick his.
You're gonna have to go back and listen to that part. Right, a mosquito.
Whenever you hear me away from the mic and I seem a little distant, I'm just looking like
looking for the mosquito. Oh God!
I'm not gonna lie. I was laying in the bed sleep, and a mosquito got me. Like, okay, get your leg, get your arm, whatever. But why did it have to bite me on the underside of my?
Stop it!
Yes. So here I am out in the street all day.
Oh, how were you laying down in the bed while I got to the underside?
You ever see a cat that's happy and it's on its back and it's stretched out, sleeping? He's got his paws wide and everything, the legs are wide open. I guess I caught myself like that. And he might have been I'm not going to say it, an LGBT
mosquito. Dear God. You're a mess. Oh my gosh, you are a mess.
I know I'm a little offbeat.
Oh dear Lord.
I'm not knocking anybody who's in that category, but you can laugh at that too. That's so see, we got like 5 more people on the show.
For real. The underside of town.
Yeah, you're right, Kenny. I've worked in jails and prisons and been in riots in the middle of it. Well, not really scared. Like Paul, like what's the name said. I met him in a club bouncing. She's seen me in different days. She's come there running to the crowd. That's fun for me. I'm usually the shortest guy who was doing it, but I'm quick and I'm still strong. And I was real strong back then, even though I was out of the gym damn near 20 years. But mosquitoes, especially since I almost died in 2019 from malaria.
Yeah, I know. You just don't want to.
240 pounds to 214 within 5 days. The thing was eating me up, man.
Yeah.
But not all of them have that. You understand? But you just have to take,
right.
Just be careful. And
well, Sister Novia said maybe it was a female mosquito. I kind of agree with her.
Yeah. It still had me looking funny the next day. People looking at me like, why are you touching himself? I'm trying to do this move and trying to itch, scratch or whatever.
Next time, put some vinegar on it.
I know, right?
Just the spot, not all over.
Mosquito, but it was the wrong species. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
A regular woman would have not did that to me.
Unless she's pissed off at you.
Yeah, that would be really painful with human teeth now, wouldn't it? Right?
Oh, let me stop it.
So maybe tomorrow night also, if we don't have anything going on, we have like a little joke night and hang out and stuff. And whatnot. All right. And you're saying like, all right, you always say that, but you don't
that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm just, if it happens, it happens.
I know. It will. Because like I said, right now, for me, content is king. Just the whole, I love a challenge. I'm competitive with myself and no one else. And I'm raising the standard. I just want to have good feelings, good vibes, because we're laying down a legacy. And for this particular, I like when I accomplish something in a day, I like to say, you know what? To me, I have to earn my sleep. I can't just goof off a day, and I have to earn my fun. And when you do something and it's fun to you and you can affect people and bring people together, that's a joy for me.
Right.
Whether it's a party or something fun or whatever. Joe Nickmon can tell you a whole lot about those other things too, right? But I like people to have fun. I like to do for the people. I'm like Manny Pacquiao. He's always, I want to have good fights so the people can have a good fight. I'm like that. So yeah, it's just like when you see the smiles or you see people thinking deeper or whatever, that's really what it is. It brings me great joy to do that. So I know I can cut a fool sometime just to get you to laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like the show this morning, I just couldn't laugh. I just had to keep my mouth shut.
The kind of jokes I spoke about.
I was just like, okay, all right.
Wow.
Well, you know what? This was good. I mean, we don't want to stay too long on Sister Nevaeh's show. She gave some good info, and I really appreciate the fact that she said yes to come on, and I was here to listen.
After working 10 or 11 hours,
Yeah.
And she was ready to give so much more, and she was getting tired. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
She's really precious, and I know it's going to go out there in a very good way.
Oh yeah.
And we will have a more direct, uncensored type of conversation where she can actually say the things. Have that on LANCESCURV.com when she lets us know, and then we'll put the time out and the actual link where you can come to, and it will not be on YouTube. And we just have to get you more used to coming on the actual site, because that's where everything that we do, it goes there. I designed it and laid it out myself, and it took time to get it to that point where visually it's appealing and very functional on so many different levels.
So appealing, yeah.
Well, I mean, I said that was my goal, but it's not for me to say. You know what I mean? Like when a woman think that's the goal, but she's not going to say, "Hey, everybody, I'm beautiful." Let everybody else.
Right.
So I'm always looking for the flaws. I'm always looking to perfect things. That's just the way I am, and that's just the way I am, and I have to be pleased with it. And I'm never really all the way finished with anything. It's just I could always do one more thing. I could always do one more thing. You embellish, until, and that's what takes up a lot of time. And I love it and I enjoy it.
Awesome.
So yeah, we won't run the time up too much on this one. I do have another upload. Me and Mr. SCURV talking about some different things for about an hour or so. Should I put up tomorrow? Should I put up? It's already just like 10:17.
10:17.
So it'd be a good little piece maybe to put up. Just lay back, relaxed, and.
Or you could put it up in the morning because we don't have a morning show, so that could be.
Well, how do you know we don't have a morning show? I might get on there, it's 12 o'clock.
Oh, you might call me and say, let's do something? Oh,
I'd like to, even if it's 1 hour or so.
Okay.
I won't hammer it in stone, but pretty much I think that it's doable. It's no problem.
It is doable. Yeah.
I commit to Monday through Friday, but it doesn't mean that when I get around that time, I'm like, oh man, I'm so used to doing it. I want to do one more. Now, I will take one day out of the week from the morning show time slot. But we got things this weekend to do too. We got to test equipment, make sure it works all right. And so I can bring some more visual, little gadgetry to everything.
Okay.
I found some new things too. It's going to be nice.
Ooh.
There might be on different platforms. Hey, listen. Well, I'm not saying it would be here, but I've been approached here by
really?
Oh yes, I'll say it in a decent way. You have live streams. You have OnlyFans, and I'm hooking up a nice space to do the shows and stuff. And there are people who know me here, and there's one person who kind of runs things along those levels in clubs and stuff. And she walked up to me. She said, I know you from the internet. You only have SCURV, and I'm like, yeah. Last time I checked, I am. But anyway, she was like, would you be interested in, I have a few girls who, want to do some OnlyFans. And I said, well, you don't need much to do that. She said, no, but, they can't set that up in their home. They may live with their family or whatever. So she gave me a card. She wants to talk business. And I'm like, on a moral level, it's like, but it's like, well, I don't know. Not me, but, she said, well, listen, could you help me tell me what I need to get and all this stuff? I know you have a lot of stuff that, And I said, well, you're not putting them out on the street and these are grown women. So I don't know. So she said, listen, could you just be the hand behind it? I'll hook you up. I'm like,
the hand behind it.
See, look at you. You're catching me and stuff, right? But I mean, on a business level, we do have an adult forum coming soon, and it's not. It's just a thing where you can express yourself without any restraint. But please use like fake names because Empress LG is not going to use Empress LG, right?
No.
I don't care. I'm gonna be LANCESCURV on that bad boy. No. There's some
I might be Empress LG. I just blow everything out of the water.
Well, no, I'm gonna set up two profiles as a decoy. I'm gonna have LANCESCURV and I'm gonna have whatever alter ego name, whatever, and I will tell it.
Listen, I will know it's you.
Melissa, yes, we're working on that. I'm just waiting
for
the Yeah. Oh no, Joe.
We won't be talking.
Strictly written. But it'll be on maybe like a V Bulletin platform, like we have CryptoSCURV on there.
Giant gain.
Yeah, and we all be able to go off on it, right? But we're gonna have if Danina doesn't come on because that's she wants to get her little thoughts because she can talk off the hip, but now she wants to really teach.
Oh yeah, she's coming with some stuff tomorrow.
Oh man, tell me about it.
And she's gonna have a book that she's gonna recommend that everybody try to pick up. I'm not gonna gonna say it right now because I don't want to. That's her spot to blow up. So I'm not gonna say what the book is, but
yeah.
That book is you saw the cover that I sent you, right, Brother Lance, and you read the little write up, right?
Yep. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is what we're going to do with that because we know that every time she comes on, she says some very powerful things, and all of a sudden the stream starts to mess up. Well, we did something once before. We had actually two shows, right?
Yeah.
And we did the first one recorded. So that way there's no interference to get the information out there. And immediately after, so that
we did a live show.
We did a live show. And if you want to come on directly, we'll put the link out there. You can come on and vibe, within reason. I mean, people come on sometime, not our usual family, but they'll come in and say some whatever. We don't want that. As long as she wants to talk, whether it's 2 or 3 hours, we'll have it premiered, we'll have it streamed. There'll be a chat room there, but then the real deal will come directly after this. So if she says anything that you want to talk about further, jot it down and just remember it. And we'll have a live show that if that particular show kind of messes up, at least we'll have the initial show out there, you know. And there's always other ways. I got 50 different ways to do shows, right? So we'll do it this way or that way. But every time she gets on live with an initial message, you've seen it before. It'll go good for a little while. And so I was like, it's like, okay, all right. You know, even me in Africa, you know, they still come after the platform. So it still has to be connected to America anyway, even though.
Right.
But, we'll do it that way to make sure that everything that you want to hear from her goes smooth, and then we'll do it that other way. And if we have to bring the conference line into it, as that second show is live, if that one messes up, we'll have 100 slots to let 100 people in. But if you do have 100 people in, you got to mute yourself coming in.
No, or we'll mute you.
I remember the night that what's the guy's name? Oh God, Anthony Broner lost to Marcus Maidana. That was back in, I think it was 2014 or something like that. You know, he was being touted as the next Mayweather. He didn't have that kind of talent, but he knows how to get the butts in the seats because he's flamboyant. But when he got his behind whipped, immediately after that, I did a show, right? Immediately after, it was like a boxing show. I said, man, people want to talk about this. And so I had so many people come on. I actually had people who were leaving the fight in the parking lot from the fight. I was like, this is crazy. You know, hey, we're right here. We just finished seeing the fight, man. And the guys out here fighting because of the results and everything. I like that live time type of feel as somebody drinks. I can't hear.
Oh, sorry.
No need to apologize, you know. I know Eric loves the sound effects. Oh, you know exactly. Oh, I didn't say nothing bad. No, I didn't say nothing bad. But you knew where I was going with that. Yes, Melissa. We're gonna try to. I'm gonna urge you to come on. I'm gonna beg you to come on. Oh, you still laughing at that, huh? You caught it. Was that a straw you were using? I know
Listen,
Eric.
Stop.
He's like, yeah, I heard it. I'm busy right now. I'm going to loop that part over and over again and enjoy the sound effects, damn it.
Listen, Brother Lance. Listen to me.
We should just go ahead and do a comedy show right now and end this one, right?
I'm a good girl. Stop it.
Well, you know, a lot of people think you are. They know you are. You're a good girl. Ones, you know that, right?
Dear. Okay, Kenny, hold on. It's a skeleton on white horse and another person riding a white horse with wings. Okay, I'll look for it. Thanks for the suggestion. Oh, by Bill Cooper. Let me write that down. Oh dear. Oh, Brother Lance, why you do me like that?
You know I'm unexpected.
I know, that's not nice though.
I know
it's so funny because I'm drinking and I forgot. I forgot that I would, because I usually put myself on mute.
Right.
And I forgot. Then I just picked up my glass and said,
"Oh,
you're staying silent, giant." Well, listen, Eric is trying to figure out what the hell you're talking about, brother. Don't worry about it, Eric. He ain't talking about nothing. Don't worry. Don't worry.
He'll realize. He'll realize.
Oh, Melissa, thank you, darling. I'm crazy.
No, you're normal. You're just hanging around me, which makes you crazy.
Brother Lance has how should I say? What can I say?
I have you perturbed.
Yeah, for real. No, you see, I kept a certain side of me on the wraps Never mind.
I'm good at spotting covert situations, so
Covert.
can't get past me.
Yeah. Oh, Eric, please. Don't know.
What did he say?
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. You'll go back and listen to the show. So what happened? What happened? What happened? But anyways,
he'll realize it. Trust me.
That's okay. That's all right. Oh, for a good laugh, Brother Lance just threw me under the bus. Jesus.
No, what did I say? No, it's just.
What did you say?
Digital Dolby surround sound of the sound effects that you provided are eardrums, and I kind of said something, you picked up on it, and not everybody got the whole joke, but they'll play it back and like, what was this guy talking about?
You want me to do it again?
That's on you from this point on. You like the other week there when I went to the photo shoot there by Brother Tyrone was clothing line down here.
Yeah.
The lady was like, I told everybody, I said, listen, you all are hanging out, but I'm gonna get everybody on camera before I go. And it wasn't the real camera, it was the phone, hooked up. You were running the show from where you are. And, I just kind of walked around and had it. Now, it wasn't like the other good cameras that I have, but it was enough to see what was going on live and just a free, instead of uploading it, making people wait and all that stuff. So they were like, listen, you got to get on Lance's camera. She said, no, I'm shy. I don't want it to, no. She ran into the room and hid. And when I had turned my back, she came out smiling and everything. And then you remember, she got on the camera. She said, yes, people tell me I'm beautiful. I don't know, but I'm Ghanaian, and I said, well, look at you, you're beautiful. So and so. Thinking she's shy. You know what she said? And look, I have a nice ass. And turned around. I said,
I know. I saw that. I don't mind showing it. I'll show you. See?
I won't get naked though. I'm like, If I was a little scared, trust me, it would have been,
it would have been on and popping.
Yeah, a little photo shoot here, right? I want her to come up when I start doing certain things, and she'll be one of the ones wearing the bikini. So, yeah, she'll do it, and I have everybody else up of my little crew down here and everything. And like I said, it's a wonderful thing. Okay. The other brother who was there who had the little cobblestone six-pack that stayed permanent.
I know.
I'm gonna have him for the ladies, and maybe another guy or the other tall guy that's musky, whatever.
He's too young for me, but he was good eye candy for
Well, that's the thing. There's eye candy. So I'm actually gonna be working on the site, an eye candy page for the women, and an eye candy page for the men. Right? You think not? I already started.
Oh, really?
Fact, let me go to the site. Now, I started it for the men first, and I have to be choice, and I have to be cool on how I set it up, I'm actually going to drop the link in the room, and they're all very suggestive. Nothing nasty or lewd. Some maybe.
You started putting stuff together already?
I'm Muhammad Ali. I'm the greatest of all times.
No. This is what happens when people don't have a phone.
This will. I'm gonna have different things because look, Jet Magazine used to have a centerfold, didn't it? You know what I mean? And they may say, well, so and so is a pre-med student with and the guys were not that, and that's part of life. So this is the women here, and I'm working on one for the men. And if you know of anybody who is, picture worthy, there's a lot of African women here, which, black people all over the world, they're African, but you'll have a certain look, right? I'm not against my sisters in America. It's not even that. There's some who are there, but I wanted to kind of to show the different beauty and scope of us. So it doesn't matter where you're from. If you have some family members or a favorite photo or something like that, it could be a photo of you. Send it to me and I'll put it up there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's fellas, look at it, and there's a little thing there, the couple stars. You hit the 5th star that you like it, whatnot. I try to put a comment section. See, I've been getting busy, right?
Backside.
But notice that it's not just, they don't have to be super skinny. I put women with some good weight on there, you know, and some things are suggestive, but in all good fun, we do that. I mean, we know how we have to respect our sisters, but we know that end of their beauty also. They are not just that, but why deny what's so obvious? We have the best looking women on the planet. The best looking.
My God.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, I've been getting busy. I don't play.
Oh my stripes and scars. Oh.
There's a couple of photos I said, okay, maybe I won't put this one up. It might be too suggestive. But if it is, so what? It's all playful. I'm not trying to demean, but I'm not trying to like look at our sisters like a piece of meat. No, but I did some things that, you know, you see their natural body, and there's certain things that, you know, you draw the line and whatever. But like, there it is. Now, also now, if you're on a computer, click on the photo, click on any photo and watch what happens.
I ain't clicking nothing.
I mean, I'm just saying to see how it works, because you'll be clicking away when I have the men up there, right? So, and there are a lot of men in real life.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
On the computer, if you click on the photo, all you have to do is to go to the arrow to the left or right.
Right.
Over to the picture, and it's large.
You did mention that to me, didn't you? Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't waste time.
These women are beautiful.
Huh?
I said they're beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. And some people are just thinking just with a carnal mind. No, I wanted to see a certain feel. You know, there's one in the supermarket reaching for the top shelf, and she has these tight things on. You know, you're a guy walking down, oh my God, look at that. You know, you're not going to say that. She's a human being, but, you know, little glimpses of that on a more adult level. And like I said, I'm going to have a forum created, and basically it's going to be named after that show that we did when we spoke about Lingus Love, right? That will be the name. I already have the domain. I'm going to set up a forum, and it'll be where we can speak on adult, sensuous, erotic type stuff. That is a part of me. I'm not going to deny it. And it's not going to be disrespect. I will not tolerate disrespect. There'll be private rooms. There'll be open forums. I'm going to have different sections, and we're going to speak on all levels of our life force and sensuality that way.
Makes me want to be young again. Oh God.
No, it may not want to make you young again. It may make you want to stay where you are, because you can still enjoy yourself no matter what the age.
No, I want to be young again.
Well, we know the foolish kind of young where we didn't know certain things. You know, I'm happy at the age that I am and the experiences that I have.
Oh, look, there's one here that's showing the brown part.
I think so. Yeah. The brown part. We'll see on my own server. I can show the brown part. You know what I mean? So, and it shows what many of these white women wish they had. So I'm rubbing it in their face too. I'm showing the white men not for them to lust, because they're gonna lust anyway. Like, listen, we got the best women on the planet, the best looking women, the most intelligent. We're not using this as a way to demean, but we're showing off what we got on an intelligent level. This is what we go home to, people of the planet. You know, these little flat whatever that you parading around as the epitome of beauty cannot touch what we have here. And you know, in my experiences, I know what the deal is. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. You know,
right.
I'm promoting, exploiting. I make no money from this.
Right.
No money from this. But it is what it is.
Ooh la la, ça sent.
Right now, I'm trying to draw more traffic to the site, so we'll be doing those shows. We do the next one with our sister who was on earlier. It'll be on LANCESCURV on the live stream page, and we'll have the own separate chat room that's there. So we don't need YouTube.
Right.
All my stuff is transferred out. So they shut me down now. This still goes on. There's no worry about it. So
well, you know what? We don't want that to happen, because, we don't want that, because the people there.
No.
I like the vibe here.
Yeah. Exactly. And I've been sent a whole lot more photos too, so I got to put them up. And like I said.
So wait a minute, where you been getting these pictures from?
I've gotten some from some sites online that some friends of mine own. And a couple of them are sent in to me. And there's a couple of people that know me from being online, and they said that they don't say they want to like do stuff out in the street. I will be doing my own photo shoots on so many different levels. Okay. Sensuous adult level. Yes, I will, because that's just the way it is. I don't hawk that down like, I want to do that. But people respect me. You know, just like when I was drawing and doing real life sketches in front of people, and there were women that I knew that said, listen, I want you to capture my beauty in the nude. And I do it. I'm like a doctor. I'm not going to sit there and be like, are you drawing or are you just looking at me? And where's your right hand? And what is the half-empty jar of Vaseline doing over there? No, it's not like that. I like the effect. And like I said, I love the human body. I'm a straight man who, you know, I appreciate the male physique, and that's what I call it. And I appreciate the female physique and the sensuousness of it, the curves of it. When you look, and let's just be honest, when you look at women of other races, there could be some who technically look nice, but for me as a black man, there's nothing that could get me stirred up more. And I'm just saying in a disconnected way. I'm 58 years old. I'm not knocking things down. When you call my name at Walmart, I'm not knocking things down off the shelf like I used to. You know, things turn around, boom, you're knocking all the cans of soup off. But I'm a man to the core, and I'm an artist. And so when I see these things, I like the feel of it. Every picture here gives me a certain feel. If you were to quiz me on it, I would tell you what it is. And it may not be just a sexual thing, physical. It's an energy thing that comes from our sisters who, you know, some of them are just like impromptu. Somebody sitting by a table laughing. Right. And it gives you a feel, an intimacy, like we're hanging out, you know, and they're not pushing themselves out. Most of them, you have some of them that, you know, they can't help it. And some put on a little more or whatever, but just being who they are, they're a sight to behold. Just like our brothers are. I'm just not personally into brothers like that, but I can capture it also because once upon a time, I was that guy that women looked at.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We age, we get older, we stop doing things. And, you know, I'm not at that level anymore, but it's like an old fighter who becomes a trainer. He's been in there and he knows what it's all about. So there will be unique photo shoots that I do with different models that are around here.
Man, the backsides on these people, boy.
You can't whip it. You can't whip it. Out here in Ghana, you can't whip it. You cannot whip it. I cannot believe from an artistic level and just from the good food and different stuff. And a woman is not just a backside. I'm just saying that, you know, I'll just say this, you know, I'm glad that I got to this age to get out here. If I was out here when I was 18 years old, oh man, I would have had a whole mountain of. I would have had that like, you know, because I mean, they're approachable, they're charming. You talk to them. I'm going to do a lot of things on the camera, and they don't like. No, you see what I got. You know, yeah, you got to pay for this. I'm not saying my sisters in America like that. I'm just saying that chance, unless they've been like Americanized, where. Now I know the deal, you know. It's almost like Eddie Murphy, and I'm not putting my sisters down here when he said, "Yeah, I'm foo-foo," and when she got around the Sisters in America, and yeah, I want half, and whatever. It's that kind of thing. So they just don't know what they have that way, and it's not like I said. They have the old school values and stuff, and this is an offshoot of our Sisters in America. And I just want my sisters in America to embrace themselves as they are. If you have a few extra pounds that, you know, that don't belong off of you. You can be in shape, but you don't have to be twiggy. And don't beat yourself down. You know, you have the curves that the white woman wants. Don't destroy it. You know what I mean? Just be yourself and you're beautiful as you are. No matter what the shape. Just be yourself and you don't have to alter anything about yourself. Just be yourself as you are. And that's a beautiful thing. I'm over here clicking. click.
So am I. I'm not even seeing the chat room anymore, but I gotta go back to this.
Ain't that something, right?
Oh God, I'm not even seeing the chat room anymore. Oh my God. Eric, calm your jets, cool your jets.
You hear what he said?
What?
You know, those are some fine as wine women.
Yeah, they are some good looking women though. Yes, indeed.
We're gonna have some brothers probably within the next 2 days. A whole lot of them. You know what I mean? But I want a certain feel. It doesn't just have to be everybody has to look like Mr. Olympia. I want to have the feel where it's the regular guy who is in fairly good shape, and sometimes maybe an older guy who may not all the way be, but it's got to be a certain, because I'm a visual person, and you know I love that. So that's the side of me that I want to express through photos. Man. And you know, I can take photos of cars and mountains and stuff, and I'm not a photographer, y'all. I'm not like, yes, I know how to work this camera, but I know angles and I know what I see.
I remember when I used to look like that.
Well, why don't you look like that? You probably look like that right now.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Look, let me tell you something. A woman should never disconnect from her sensual side. It's about how you feel.
I feel fine. I just don't look like that anymore.
Oh yeah, and I'll get them too, Queen Mariah.
What? Them brothers you met last week? Oh yeah. Those were some good brothers.
And let me tell you something. There are a lot out here walking down the street that just work hard and they look like they don't even know. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'll be taking pictures. I don't want them looking at me like I'm some homo or something like that. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna get the good camera out and I'm gonna take days where, well, I always keep my video stuff with me, but I'm gonna also
do calendar girls and calendar guys.
Yeah. I mean, all you have to do, I still have more connecting to do because on that level, I'm going to be going to the clubs, you know, and meeting people. But I want to wait until I have the actual official space, which is very, very, very impressive. And, you know, the work online speaks for itself, but just being that all around guy to do this, do that, do this, do that. You know, when I start getting requests to do graphics for clubs, it's a wrap. I'll be super busy then.
Right.
Shows, but everything will be full throttle. And once those floodgates are open, there's no turning back. So I have to wait until, you know, I get the, you know, projected space that we're still to have. And I can go all out with that because there I will have live events and different things like that. It'll be totally creative in a whole different wing. It won't just be, Lance does YouTube videos and he writes a little bit. It'll breathe some life into this thing and bring it about. There'll always be something to do. And well, there's photography and there are a lot of beautiful people here, male and female. But, you know, my natural energies leans toward the females. And again, not for any, just I'm lusting after, but the real beauty. And see, the thing is, let me tell you something too. Just like in the schools here where they make the young ladies cut their hair short and they still look beautiful.
Right,
but that's advice by the system that's compromised to not allow them to enjoy their natural hair. Imagine whether they wanted it or not. They allow you to relax your hair, but they don't want you going to school with locks. They have problems here with people who are trying to get in these schools. Oh no, you can't wear your hair like that. It grows out natural. So this is why, like I say, the beauty of us, we see ourselves and we think, I'm not saying all of us here, but we see ourselves and we don't realize how beautiful we are, whether we do get older. There are older women who are drop dead gorgeous. Maybe they didn't look the way they did when they were 20 or 25, but they still have it. Maybe they have 25, 30 pounds more on them. Maybe the boobies droop a little. It's okay. Maybe they have gray hair. The face is a little fuller. But when they get in that sensuous mode, the world needs to see that because that's another aspect of the jealousy that other people have who know we are the sugar honey iced tea. In all ages. It's about life force. It's not about just the physical body. It's the energy. And we need to show that and stop cutting that. Doesn't mean we're going to go googly eyed and flirt with everybody. And it's not a flirt thing. It's just let me capture you as you are, as you're glowing. That's you know, and as far as the fellas are concerned, that's giving me impetus for me to get in shape. I may keep my clothes on and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, I'm going to get back in. You know, this is part of the whole master plan of why I'm out here, because I know how I want to live. And I could not live anywhere else in the world other than here in the motherland to do the things that I want to do and to be appreciated like I am here. My people here in the room appreciate me, but there's a lot of hate in America. It kind of keeps me back because there are a lot of people in Orlando and in Central Florida. Yeah, man, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. You never hear from them. They try to undercut you and smear you and you sit there with your hating self and watch progress come fast now. In the next year, I'm going to make 5 years worth of progress and probably do about 5 years worth of work. To do 3, 4, 5 shows a day and some videos because it's in my path. If I take a walk down the road and see a beautiful lady and I pass one of my cars and show my work and say, listen, whatever, and they're receptive that way. If I see a muscular dude or a good looking dude, no homo like that, but I know we have sisters here who want to see something. Right. Not just, the big bulge in his pants, but just if you have this thing, if you have this quality, the raw quality about you, nothing is tampered with as it is. There are some terribly sexy women out here and they're not even trying to put on. There are men here that the women would go crazy over. And it's a raw thing that's not messed around with by a European mindset. They don't even realize it. Right. This is stuff you got to see. You see what I mean? And see, some men or women, oh, that's just sex. Yeah, I put some shots here. I think there was a girl licking on something or putting something in my. So what? They do that. You know what I mean? It's not. It's a beauty. It's a comfort. Look at these women who you may see their curves, but it's a comfort. You know, they push the LGBTQ thing, so we can't look at a beautiful woman and say, "My God, she's so beautiful." It's not even just a sex thing. When you go to I'm not putting them on the level of an animal in the zoo. I'm just saying when you go to the zoo, you see the beauty of that tiger, the beauty of the lion, just sitting there, being themselves and beautiful as they are in their fullest majesty. Well, why can't we, as a man, we look at our sisters not like, oh, I'm gonna bend you over and get up in you. No, that is there. We understand that energy is there. But even hold back and look at the whole overall thing on how beautiful she is as she is. The creator gave her those curves, gave her them beautiful lips and eyes, gave her those full thighs. Enjoy it. You can't screw everything. I'm an artist. I visually appreciate. There's some huge paintings I want to do. I'm trying to find out where I can get like really huge canvas, like 8 feet tall, 8 feet wide. Put it on the side of the house and go out there and I'll videotape, I'll live stream it, I'll talk and paint and make some paintings that while I may not keep it up on the wood frame behind it because that'll make for a bigger shipping cost, I'll sell those.
Right.
And wrap it up, fold it up and sell it out there. You know, send it out, ship it out. I'm not going to just go right here locally or whatever. No, you know, and if you're interested, fine. But there are going to be some beautiful pieces that a lot of people may say, oh, that's just a little too sexy. But you can request it. I have no problem drawing those things, drawing them and painting them out. Secretly, I used to do that probably like 30 years ago, and I never did nothing and threw them out after a while. But now, you know, just the whole scope of the human experience is what I want to get into.
Right.
I'm at that age right now where I'm young enough and I'm taking good care of myself and have a little insight in all the years of experience. And it's just a beautiful thing. There's a photo that I found, well, actually a poster that I found back in the 80s. And it was in a village. There was a poster shop on 3rd Street. 3rd Street, was it? Yeah, 3rd Street. 3rd Street, down the block there off of 6th Avenue where you pass that McDonald's. Oh, okay. You keep going down before you hit the end of the other street there. It was about a block or 2 blocks down from Washington Square Park. And there was a poster shop there. And down in the village, we'd go out there on the weekend or sometime during the week, but on the weekend, these places would stay open until like 3, 4 in the morning because they knew the crowds were there. And so I went into this particular poster shop and they had all different types of things, old rock stars, you know, old R&B stars and, you know, sometimes half naked women and, you know, models. And unfortunately, they had some gay stuff there, you know, nothing lewd, but you knew what it was. But there was this one picture of a black woman with locks laying face down on the bed. It was shot from the base of the bed. And she had the covers up to her mid-thigh. She was raised up on her elbows in the bed over the pillows, but she was laying down flat. So you saw her backside, the horizon of it, like the mountains over the horizon. It was a beautiful picture. I couldn't grasp what it was. I'm like, it's not a sexual thing. I just couldn't, you know, her neck, her shoulders, the shoulder blades, and then the backside and the covers covered it up. That picture relaxed me. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like a sex thing. Yes, it was very nice to look at on that level, but it was something more about that.
No,
so,
it didn't relax you. Of course it would.
Oh, so you get me back, right?
Of course right? It would. It would relax you.
Well, you know, like I said, to see the raw beauty. And too many times European society wants to make us get away from that, like something's wrong with us, while their women are trying to get what our women
we have.
Same thing with the men. And it's the value the men, you know. So let's bring it out raw. That's what we're going to do. You know what I mean? So,
all right.
Like I said, photos, you know, if somebody snap a nice photo, it could be something a little something sexy.
So, you have these lovely, lovely looking women there and they look gorgeous. I have to say, they do look gorgeous.
You didn't know it was getting busy now, did you?
No, I didn't. Not you did. You did tell me, but I didn't realize that you had done so many of them. I forgot about it. So now you need some for those of us, because a lot of these young ladies, they're still in their youth, and they're not they're not they're not in the they haven't gone through the childbearing years yet. So
yeah, but even still, I want to have photos of
you
women
need
who
to
have.
have some. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You need to have some pictures now of those of us who have gone through the childbearing years.
They will be appreciated.
We're more rounded.
Exactly.
We're not linear and curvy.
No.
We still might be a little curvy, but there's more roundness to us.
Yeah, but see, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And
sometimes there's more sponge.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Nothing wrong with that,
right, ladies? There's more soft tissue to hold on to.
But that's a natural development. That's some people more or less. Some people go toward that more. Some people fight against. If the genetics is that way,
that's my genetics.
Yeah. So
I look at my mommy and I go, "Why you do this to me?"
But
I'm just joking. I'm just messing around.
Yeah, I know, but whatever you are, it's the energy.
Yeah, I know.
And look, when the body gives into a little gravity, if that's the case, you still have the female life force. And to me, there's nothing more sexy than a woman who may not be at her epitome, but she's still very confident in her skin. It's not about a tape measure in the bed. We know I have vast experience in my life from years ago.
Right.
I found sometimes a picture perfect Photoshop looking, physical dimensions that are damn near perfect. That doesn't make it. It doesn't make it. I mean, because there's some people who get on the sexual level who are like, get off on how I look. You know what I mean? Like that's No. It's the energy. Look, let me tell you something. There have been some big women who they turned me out. I'm telling you.
No kidding.
What? Shoot.
Oh, you care to tell?
Well, I can, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's just a faceless thing. But I'm just saying that they had no problem. I mean, there was one person I knew that was very, very, she was lighter in weight and slim, and she got a little older, and she put on weight, had kids, had little stresses in her life, whatever have you. And we kind of ran across each other again. And she's all, all these years, look, I got a little belly on me. I said, no, that's a third titty. You know what I mean? It's extra.
Thanks, Melissa. I got to keep it 100 for us folks,
You know what I mean? So,
yes.
like Giant Gaines said, you can't have round without curves.
No, you can't, Giant.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think that we should. Well, listen. You see these young girls sometimes. You gotta have heavy set young girls, but I'm just saying they throw in their little heels and have something short walking around the house and wiggling. What's the difference? What happens if you're a little heavier? And
I still got heels. I got some heels over here.
There you go. Look, you got grown ass men out here trying to wear things like that.
I know.
You mean you gonna let them wear that and you can't do it? You a real woman?
No, can't make that happen.
Exactly.
Can't make that happen.
That's right.
Oh, let me stop. Oh, dear.
We have conversations like that and everything like that. So, I just want to develop the site because the whole concept of a Jet magazine centerfold.
Right.
We're losing that.
Yeah.
So in talking about white supremacy and talking about Black folks and how to motivate them and having our comedy nights and our live shows and our recorded stuff, we'll throw that into the mix. Why can't we? We've been pushed to not see that anymore.
Right.
Everybody else has rights to do this and do that, and we can't even say, man, and not have to. It's like when the joy of catching a fish, and you say, let me let the fish go back and live. The joy of seeing a beautiful woman and saying, wow, can I take a picture of you?
Right.
And you do that, for my Instagram, for my thing, whatever. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you ever want to do a photo shoot, here's my number. But that's what it is. Like I said, I've been meeting some phenomenal people that
Did you get those cards yet? Did you get the card?
I'm going to design them this weekend. But you mean the other ones, right? I got to see my budget and everything, right? I've been spending, but if I do, I'll have them sent to you, and you can send them to me. You know what I mean? But I'm going to do the regular paper ones for just the masses, and I'll design those this weekend. But I want to get your opinion on those other designs, because that's each one really costs, but that's for the real people who are in business and a mover and a shaker, and they will never throw that card away.
Right.
But you have to spend for that, and that's just not to stand in the corner and say here. But every event you go to, you might give out 3 of them. The other paper ones, getting rid of 20 and 25 and 30. If I get 5,000 like that,
show them in the air and say catch.
Right, like a piñata that breaks. It all comes falling down. But so that's what it is with me, and just certain business strategies, and it's catching on because although YouTube and the different social media platforms will hold back the numbers, it's like, how do so many people know what goes on the site and on the platform to reach out like that? And it doesn't match up. So I know what's going on. I've been out here 20 years. I don't care about the so-called mainstream. I care about our family here and whoever comes here and vibes with us. Right. You can't own the internet. You can't make everybody love you and like you. So I'm not trying to follow anybody else's script. I'm just doing this from the heart. And anyone in the family here who has a suggestion or anything, say, hey, Lance, you go overboard with that. Pull back on that, or you need to do this more. But I'm not going to hold anybody back on any level of expression. And I want to provide as many platforms as I can so we can do things and accomplish things and motivate on so many different levels and make you laugh. So with Brother Kenny, when we start vibing, because he told me something really good about that 99-cent program. I want to look into it because just like when we did shirts before, they're still there, but it's just words. But now I can digitally do something simple. If something happens in the news, boom, you're gonna have something that night to wear. To get to you in a few days.
Wait. What is this? Ari Network just got to that joke, the third titty. You can always tell people are so far behind.
You didn't hit them.
No, because they're probably a little bit behind it or watching. So he just got to that part. It's amazing. Sometimes I read the chat and I know who's I can always tell who's not up to speed, Right. They're commenting on stuff that you said like 10 minutes ago,
That's what it is. So, and like I said, there's so many different gears to go and move on.
Right.
With like I said, I'll share it again, the old art page and everything. Check that out. And I think there's a comment section below. So those who are new or those who are just old, who have been here, not old. No, there is a comment section.
Queen Red Pill. I've seen her. She is phenomenal. Yeah. That the Ernestine Shepherd, that bodybuilding.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She's phenomenal. Yeah.
If you do things right. And so for me, getting back to the exercise thing, it's not going to be pushing myself, because I'll say it, commercial bodybuilding and professional bodybuilding and things getting close to that is damaging to the body. It's not good. The training will wreck you. But sensible training, working along with that you can use, not trying to stuff all this food and push yourself, and you got internal organs to look after. The goal is to be young and youthful as you age, because the funny thing, like I say, when you have frenemies and enemies, the best revenge is to get old and still look young while they lost their youth.
True.
I'm not doing this for the revenge factor or anything like that. I'm just saying that there's a lot of benefits from that. And in the way Ernestine, she started when she was 55 or 56. I'm 58 to be starting back again, but I got a vast experience from competition and knowing things. I already know my body. So when I bounce back, they're gonna be like, what are you taking? I ain't taking nothing. I know what I'm doing. And remember, ladies, it's the muscle under the fatty tissue that you have, whether it's large or small, that gives you the shape.
Exactly.
I mean? Don't hurt yourself. Don't go too hard. Don't be imbalanced. Things, for you to build a foundation with anything, Just like this website, the work I've been doing online for the last 20 years, it was nothing to some people. Now it's like, I can't get through all of this stuff. It's too much. Good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now you see how I've been living. Now the foundation has been set, so let's branch off into other parts of our existence. And that's why I need everybody who's here to come on and add their piece and, vibe with everybody else. Let's have one big party every time we get on the site. And I provide the different platforms. And it brings me joy. It's a legacy. The stories I have to tell, and we all have to share. It's fun. We're going to have a lot of laughs this week coming in from this day forward.
We are?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to make sure of that.
We are?
I remember a couple of stories that I forgot to really, that I haven't shared yet. So, and I'm going to start talking about the bus driver side of my life, the stories from that part, the dollar van stories, when I was working in jails and just travels in New York and whatever, I just wish I had more of a camera, but I do have a lot of bus footage on those layovers and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inkgasms.
Well, inkgasms, yeah. I'm always referring to something sensuous, right?
It's all right.
The gallery around, it's the same thing that when you click on something that goes in the middle and you can scroll through that way. I just want to put, I work on putting the comment section down there tomorrow.
It's the details, man. I don't know if a lot of the folks that look at your pictures, if they really look at these pictures, or they just look at, like, how you say you're not looking but you're seeing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, they see your artwork, but they're not looking at the artwork.
Right, but you're one who looks at every detail.
Oh my God, I look at everything. I see everything.
When I'm walking down the street here in the markets and in the crowd, just moving about, I'll snap a picture and send it to you in a text. And I'll just snap random pictures and you look at them and study. And you're like, Lance, did you see this? Wasn't there one where there was a dude taking a dump or something that you saw or something like that? I was doing something. Way in the background, she pulled it in and it's like, it's all kind of things. You see things here.
I see things. It's like, okay, let me just hold on a second. Come on, computer. The one here, Fall News and Always Right, Jeremiah Wright, I think it is. I think that's who that is.
Where he's
got a sword.
Sean Hannity's head he cut off.
Right.
That was a long time ago when Barack Obama was running.
I remember, but that plaque that's right below, his, this thing, the whatchamacallit there, his podium, right?
Yeah.
Now a lot of people would see, every time I try to open it goes into the wrong direction. But a lot of people wouldn't even notice that you had something written around the symbol on that plaque. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm looking for it across the bottom. I can't find it yet, but I'll find it.
All right, you will find it.
Okay, yeah, I got it now.
You see what I'm saying? Now it's hard.
I have to look again.
It's hard for me to read it, but there's stuff written there. He wrote stuff around that plaque.
Yeah. Spiritual Warfare Command Center.
Right, and then around it, I can't really read it. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people would look at this picture, right? See that, and even the strips around Hannity's neck. A lot of people wouldn't even stop to read and see what's that you wrote.
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
Soundbite, the truth hurts, or soundbite this, the truth hurts. I mean, come on. There's so much in one picture. Has
the eye of Horus on the tie, right? On the not part of the tie.
Yeah, exactly.
I seriously forgot about these things I put in there. Because you see the grains on the podium and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I'm telling you. I mean, it's like the things that he puts in these
the wind-up thing on the side of his head, and then the wires, like he's a talking
head.
Yep.
I see it.
I don't look at these things because I know I did it. So it's like, okay, let me move on to the next one. You know what I mean? So
I look. I do look. I catch everything. But,
wow.
You know,
Yeah.
that's my name.
I feel funny looking at my own stuff, so.
Investigative Ella.
No, right? Crime scene investigator, right?
Yeah. What that? What is
Something.
that? What was that?
Something.
What was that? Like like a phone rang or something?
Yeah, bing. I don't know.
I don't know.
Can't be a duppy.
Must be a duppy or a gunman.
I know.
Oh, laughter is good. Yes, Melissa. Let's see.
That's right. Keeping your spirits upbeat.
Yep.
Being able to feel free to express yourself and know that you're accepted and loved no matter what you say. That's what it's all.
Exactly.
In this world, there's so many restrictions and this and that. Where do you feel free? Now, okay, this may not be a physical location where we're meeting, but in our mind, it's a place where we can come and be that. Just kick back.
Right. Yeah, Queen Marat, we love those love handles.
Ain't nothing wrong with the love handles. It's still there.
Oh, really, Giant? Giant said your artwork is how she really started following you.
Wow. I got to start doing more. Yeah. It kind of fades off. I haven't been doing a lot, but I'm settling down more. And I guarantee you everything will be equally put out. There'll be regular stuff like that. There'll be the T-shirts and stuff. It'll be, big paintings, and I'll do a live stream for it, and we'll be talking, and I'll, maybe you'll run it, and I'll, when you bring people in, but I can hear it. Right. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like some real fun stuff. Yeah. Because I have the ability to do those things even now, but, we have to get to the next level very soon.
Yeah, very soon. Very soon. Very, 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 very soon. Now this one here that you colorized with the flaming fire and the guy holding the fire, was it a fire extinguisher? Did you recently colorize that, or was that always?
Oh, I did. I was experimenting with that. That was with colored pencils.
Okay.
That was like a doodle. It wasn't even a serious thing. Like some of these things I've done on the go. Like I remember there's one here where the guy says, crime sure pays. I did that in North Carolina in a prison. I worked in briefly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was there was an envelope, and I just had time to do that. But I did add LANCESCURV.com on there, and that was before I had LANCESCURV.com.
Right.
If you would like to right click it and save image and download it, you can pull it in close on your computer. And see details. But that one there with the fire extinguisher,
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, cause of death, illiteracy.
Right.
Like, he couldn't read the instructions on the fire extinguisher, and she's mad because she thought, he was a good guy and a hustler. That's why I said, now I realize how stupid I was to run with a fool like you. The real hustle is getting the education. Now we're both going to burn to death because you can't read.
Can't read. Exactly. Well, look at the shoes. I mean, rotted. And the toe have on nail polish. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Things like that. I love little things. I can sit there. I'm never bored. I can sit there and just come up with something, and you leave me alone, I'm never bored. That's the way I am. I mean, from young, I didn't have no problem being in my room. My mother would check on me. You sure you don't want to go outside? And when I went outside, I had fun. But when I got into things, And what you're seeing of me now really has been in a cocoon for a long time. I've always had these little abilities and insights. It's more because of life experience, but I probably drew better back in the 70s. I had to come back into my own. I stopped from high school, and then didn't start till 2001 again when I was in corrections and I had time. And I said, man, this is a heck of a job. It's not where things happen all the time.
Right.
Bring a paper and a pencil and just start doodling just to pass the time. So we'd have debates, me and the other officers. We had these very intense all-night conversations and debates to pass the time by, and they were very comical. It was talk show worthy. I wish I could have recorded some of those things. And those guys were funny. that's what made me really get into the talking. I've always been a talker, but only with my inner circle friends. And I said, man, I got some skills here. I can hold my own, So I started to like do the little things and bring in a picture the next day or the next 2 days working on it to kind of end the argument by making them see a point that they cannot argue. You see what I mean?
Right.
So everything has to have some kind of message behind it.
Right.
And that's what I did. And then somebody had took one of the pictures and copied it off and hung it up in every single control room in the jail. And everybody knew I was an artist. So the joke was I would draw a lot of the a lot of the officers that were there. One of the best ones I did was an older officer, little white guy, short guy named Woody. And people flipped over that one because I caught him just right. And he was so proud of that picture to him, and he framed it. And it was on the back of some kind of form that the inmates would use to get some kind of privilege. They were
really?
Yeah. And so it was just right there. I just used pen, and it really looked like him. It really did. And he would always, he's a little short, wimpy guy, but he'd say, hey, I'm a short, wimpy white guy, but I got muscles. And he didn't have muscles, but he'd always flex his arm and twist his fist, face it out. I drew him like that. And people were like, yo, you caught him. And that was a wrap, because people that would walk by my control room, they'd hold up a book or something like joking, like, you're not going to look at my face and get me. And make me and I knew with other officers, like way on the other side, that probably I said, they don't know me. They'd see me and playfully, like, one time I walked into a briefing, before you go on shift, and some of the officers that were leaving and that weren't on post, and the ones that I work with coming back in, I walked and they all held like something over their face, a hat or something. I was like, oh man, y'all are crazy.
They're afraid of you. Oh dear.
Yeah. There were rumors that they were talking about me with the whole, sketch of mugshots and everything like that. The guy who did that, he knew me. I was thinking about going in for that, but they didn't need any more people. And that would have been interesting,
Yeah.
See what a person looks like. But you have to know the facial structure, the shape of the face, and different types, and how light hits it, and get it a lot off of what they tell you. Start from there, and then pull it back. Because a lot of folks can't really explain what they saw in detail. And this is why I like faces. I mean, anybody can draw a leg and an arm, but the face is unique. I mean, when you see an expression or whatever, and I do it in cartoon form because I can draw real portraits, but they take too long for me because I want to get it right. So, everything, all the pictures you see me draw has a face in there, and they're in a situation. They're reacting with somebody else, and I like that.
Right. Can I ask you a question?
Sure. I'm an open book.
It's not personal. How Jensen Franklin and Acts 16:16. You really gonna make me go look what Acts 16:16 says? Oh,
you mean on the picture?
Or does Acts not have a 16? Jensen Franklin, Spirit of Python, Dunce.
Oh, that's a book cover. That's a book cover that I did. Yeah. I forgot what it was. I looked it up, but look it up.
Not right now.
Because that particular preacher, the author went in on him because he's a former pastor and he doesn't like what's going on with Christianity.
Oh, okay, okay.
Drew his face and he told me kind of what he wanted, and I did it. And that is the actual cover. You'll see it in bookstores.
Oh, really?
And I told him, I said, oh yeah, it's out there.
Oh, okay.
I have a whole bunch of book covers I've done. I got to kind of, pull it back, and, a lot of things I've done. Like even with the artwork with Lucius Gant's book, that came out in 2008. And my name is on the cover. I showed you that before, right? Let me see if I can pull it up in Amazon or something like that. He's a columnist.
I know you talked about it.
Yeah. The name of the book is Dead Man Writing, I think it was. Let me see. Let me pull it up. Yeah, there it goes. Front and back cover. Let me just hit the image. Okay. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. All right. Let me just go right directly to it. And Let me see. Here's the link address. I don't know. You know, sometimes you put a link address and has all these things behind it. Oh yeah, she's been going. She had the. I don't know if this is a Google search link. Let me know if it opens up, and you'll see my name right there.
All right. Ari was asking something about if the full. No, this is.
Doesn't open.
What in the world? You dropped it twice?
Just once. Sometimes they put all this long code behind it. So
okay, let me look and see.
Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'll go right into Amazon and pull it up there. So kind of like forget that link, y'all. Go right to Amazon.
Redirect. Oh, it's going to redirect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
You can see it?
The Gantt report? Yeah. With illustrations by LANCESCURV. Oh,
you see it. So, yeah. Yeah. Even the young lady that recently passed away, Hollywood,
mm-hmm.
You know, we had our falling out, and it wasn't my fault, but that's another story. You know, she passed on, so I won't have to, you know. But anyway, she used a lot of my photos, and you know, she didn't fly me up. I went up to her little thing that was Professor Griffin, that whole, I told you how that all went down, right?
Yeah. You told the story.
Yeah, people are amazing. And
you remember back in the day, Amazon books, they would show you what's inside. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, they don't show you what's inside.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Let me see if they can pull up the actual site. I think I haven't been there so long though.
Wow. You got 4 stars.
Okay, let me see the link here. I think you'll be able to pull this link up because they'll be able to. It's a good book. Still a good book if you want to buy the book. You know, I told him, I said, you know, I've been looking at your column for a long time.
Right.
It's the same thing. I'm looking for. Oh no, wait.
And it's funny because it still has a good price.
Yeah.
Considering, you know.
Right.
How long ago it was.
Mm-hmm. I was so proud to be a part of that too. You know, I'm doing this because I support you. This link is a lot shorter. This one here, I had dropped the other link before, but I'm putting this last link that's about to show up. Yeah, that one.
Right.
That actually to where you can read about the book and it shows you and all that stuff. So it's a good little read, you know.
Right.
If you hit that link and it'll pull up everything. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Tells you everything about it. And there's some other books. There's another book that a gentleman wrote, and I think it came out in 2006. I forgot the name of it, but he gave me a whole chapter. And basically, he was writing about unsung heroes in the Black community. And I was kind of on Black Planet back then, and News One started using a lot of my stuff. And people that you didn't know, he wrote about, and he kind of like let you know how they affected the community and what good they were doing. And he asked me, can I write on you? I said, sure, no problem. And I forgot about it. And he sent me a book, actually. God, what's the title of it? I'll figure it out. But I'm not much on bragging about things with it. But he really, you know, he did his research. And up until that point, you know, I mean, YouTube just came out and I wasn't going to be on there for a few years. But it was interesting how, you know, he put together that part of my life and, you know, from that perspective. And I got a lot of, you know, responses from it. People reach out.
Right. He's kind of high right now, Melissa. So he's not fatigued or fatigued. He's not fatigued.
Yes. You know, all of that it's just been a wonderful journey, and to come full circle, because, you know, the real reason why I did other things other than draw was to bring back people to the artwork.
Right.
On YouTube, really and truly, I learned that social media will help you expand what you do. I just completely let go of what I did in the beginning because I got into this, but still for the end of coming back to the original love. Because, you know, I can put names out there and There was a gentleman who the world knows, Dr. B, W. He used to feature a lot of my stuff on his site, but he kind of got like, because I started writing, and sometimes people think that you should just be in one area and you dare not accept. You can't do this because you're not college educated. Listen, I got passion, I have experience, and a degree does not equate with intelligence, because I'm not putting down anybody who has a degree, but I know a lot of people who are degreed and they do idiotic things. Me is passion and intelligence. I'm not saying I'm intelligent like that. I'm just saying that I'm a hands-on guy. I catch on quick, and I will outwork anybody who claims that a piece of paper on a wall is going to be my passion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Great boxers who are trained and they know all the moves, and you have those sluggers who are like, okay, I know you're going to hit me, but guess
Giant.
I'll take 50 punches to land my one, and I'm gonna do it, and I'll be around when you're gone, type thing. I'm gritty.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I know, especially with the whole white man system, they don't want you to express yourself in a true way that they don't approve of. They will completely ignore you, want to shut you down, and you're on your own. And a lot of your own won't like it because whatever reasons they have. I can't compete with anybody. I just love the life that I have, the life that I had, and the life that I project that I want to live. You know what I mean? That's all it is.
Exactly.
So
look. You see why I can always love Giant when she's on the show.
See that? Yeah, and you're right, Giant Gain. The melanated horizon has me relaxed. Yeah, but there's certain things I ain't gotta concern myself with. I'm free.
You don't read it. Read it again.
Let me see.
Read it again.
Horizon. Oh, the horizon. The horizons, yes. I love the horizons. Kiss my horizons.
Okay.
May your nerve endings enjoy what I do to you. A symphony of sensations sent to your brain just for you.
Oh, dear God. You need to stop.
An old freak. Yeah, I'm old. I don't deny me. It's just like what's his name said, I didn't eat no pumpkin pie. He's telling you what he was eating. Pumpkin pie. I didn't know pumpkin pie.
Is that what's his name?
What's his name? Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac. Yeah.
Def Comedy Jam. That's what like cemented it forever for him. For
I know. It was funny.
Yeah. I love stuff like that. That's the kind of energy. We all know the brother in the hood like that, whether it's in the hood or not, like caught, and that's what I like. I want to get the character, make people laugh on certain things because of the people that I've known that rubbed off on me a little bit.
Right.
Just to tell you the story is not good enough, but to make you feel it,
Because you said that and I heard his voice immediately. It's like you did a good job just now. You did.
Pumpkin pie. I ain't no pumpkin.
Yeah.
Just like this. He's a young kid. I mean, a young kid. He had to be like 9, 10 years old, and there was a house guest. I'm not going to tell it in super detail. I'm just going to tell what happened. There was a house guest over to their home. Now he's 10 years old, and maybe his little feelings, maybe he was feeling it earlier than 12 or 13. She was very shapely. She was just statuesque, shapely, these long, full legs. And, he wasn't supposed to be noticing it like that. Well, anyway, they had a bunch of kids, that were getting into teenage years. So they're a big house. So they had to spread out. One went to the couch and another went to the couch and just still, what the hell? You know what? I had my slippers on, right? And I had the heel part under the wheel of the seat. And I lifted up my foot and it slapped me in the back. I said, what the hell? Somebody down there smacking my foot. That's why I looked at it. I was like, what the hell is this?
I think it's bedtime.
I know, right? I think it's time for the slip on and go into that nocturnal world of interludes, right?
See, I'm serious.
Let me tell you the
Yeah.
story, though.
All right.
So you know, there was no like you have to close the door the way type thing. So she, because I spent the night that over there too, and I was younger. I was older than him. So it's funny. This is the same house with the little girl with the X-Lax.
Oh, okay, okay.
I was upstairs, and there was a cot. I came over there so much they had their own special cot, and the brother that was my best friend, and he would always come over my house too, you know, and we had a little cot for him. So, you know, oh, you stay the night? Okay, break out with the cot. So I'm right there by the top of the steps, and I hear the mother scream out, "What are you doing in that room? What the hell are you doing?" And then the guest woke up. And she touched her lip because she was laying on the bed face down. She had a slip on that had deliciously rolled up.
Oh no!
Her horizons were showing, and he snuck in the room. And you know what he was doing? She was like
her horizon.
No, he went for the gusto, buddy. And I'm not calling you buddy like that. I said it for effect, but he went for the gusto. Her head was on the edge of the bed. She took the whole length of the bed. He went up by her mouth. And his mother caught him with his thing out. Kind of put it on her lips, and he was doing it. And you know what he said when she was busted? When he was busted?
What did he say?
"I'm sorry, mommy. I wanted to see what it felt like."
Oh my God.
No. With wordplay, I'm like, how do you see what something feels like? The way he said, how'd you like that was gonna make it all right. Like, oh, okay, no problem. You just want to, no problem. Carry on.
Oh my gracious God.
And he was so shocked that he didn't put it away. So when the guest woke up and felt extra liquid, he didn't like ejaculate. He was too young. But something, you know, little baby puppy water, something. She was just like, and she woke up. She had the dumbest look on her face and turned around, and he got the whipping of his life.
Oh, see, that was wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to see what it felt like. He was straight busted. But, you know, he took his time. He must have been staring, looking. It was quiet. Everybody's snoring. It's 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And he got it in his head like, but where did he get the idea from? Like,
touch something.
Touch the horizon.
No, he saw something and he heard something. And it's like, well, damn, if this is what's being done to that person, it's making them make that noise. I want to see what that feels like.
I wanted to see what it felt like.
I want to see that. Yeah, exactly. I want to see what it feels like.
He evidently saw something. There were no videos on a computer or a smartphone. Like, did you see a magazine?
He saw mommy. He saw mommy. He saw mommy, and he heard daddy, and he's like, ooh.
Right.
I want to see why daddy's making that noise.
He must have had like a little piece of a nerve ending shoot up when he felt them lips or whatever.
I'm sure something happened.
Into it though, from what I heard, because I heard it, but I didn't see it.
What?
You know, well, when he got whipped, I heard it. What I'm saying is that he was in that room for a long time because he admitted it. He was so scared. He admitted everything. How long were you in there doing that? 30 minutes. Oh, that's a long time.
So where was she? What? No, listen. Stop that. No, stop that. Stop that.
Maybe the guest was.
Stop that. There is no damn way in hell. No.
So you saying she was with it?
She was with something because there's no way in hell nobody's gonna put their little Peter on you for 30 minutes that you don't know.
But he was saying he took time going to the room. He was scared, and he took time, and you know, maybe she shifted in the bed.
And then she was like, "Oh, you want to know what it is? Okay, stay right there.
I'll do it for you." Oh man, I just want to see what it felt like. Things kids do.
The mother was smart. She just said, and what did she do? She was helping me see what it is.
He had no testosterone inside of him to be trying to do that at that point, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, why that? Like, touch her butt or something, or let the skirt ride up and let her look at it or something. Look at the horizons.
That was not his fascination. Something fascinated him.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, that's what it was. Something fascinated him, and he just had to find out what it is.
That was his whole night mission. He probably and saw the door cracked and pushed it open because them doors were loud and they had closed coat hangers, so the door it never closed because of the coat hangers on top.
Of course, yeah, we all have that. We all have those doors that have become part of your clothes hanger, closet, whatever.
I just wanted to see what it felt like.
Okay. And the mother, I am going to give you something to see what it feels like. Why you do that?
But the tone of his voice, he was younger and stuff. Now his voice is all deep,
Feel this.
Because even still, I haven't seen him in years, but even when he got older, we would tease him about that,
J.E., where are you in this video? Where exactly are you in this show? Seriously. I mean, when it comes to grammar, I'm grammatical weak, and people read my stuff, they feel like I'm a moron. Come on, man. Come on, J.E. Go to the end of the video. Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
But that is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I was I was walking down the street with one of the sisters of that family.
Okay.
And it had to be it was 11 o'clock, which at that time in the ages we were, it wasn't like, oh my God, it's so late, but it was late, in Queens back in the 70s like that.
Right.
Walking toward this house on Liberty Avenue that was actually, it wasn't a house you lived in. It was converted to a pharmacy. I remember that. It was still looking like a house. Everything else was like straight buildings. Like they tore everything down and built it up again. And I saw this, it was like you had to walk up these steps before you went on the porch of this pharmacy house. And it was closed. It had a little gate. And there's a little ledge with some cinder blocks that were there in front of it where the chain link fence was pushed into. And this drunk guy was standing up in front of this drunk lady. And she was the one sitting down. And we were half a block away, like, you see what they doing? They're doing the same thing.
How do you see
nobody stopped.
these things?
These things, I just catched them.
Oh my God.
She saw it. I saw it, but she said something first. She said, she's sucking his peenie. That's what she used to call it, a peenie, right?
Oh my gosh.
You're right. Oh my God. We were walking and we got all quiet, walked past them, kind of giggling. And then we got past them like about 25 feet and turned around real quick. They kept on going.
Didn't even care.
No, they didn't care.
There
was not much traffic on Liberty Avenue. And you could see people coming a mile away.
I don't understand. I'm not that I want to have any experience of catching people, but I don't understand how.
Make me understand this.
How do you always catch these things? How?
I was looking for it all the time, though.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Honestly, as an adolescent and young kid, I was always looking for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
My friends were like, how do you catch this stuff? You're always finding stuff. Because I always know stuff. I remember I was walking to old girlfriend's house over there past Guy Brewer and Linden Boulevard behind that bus depot. And late at night, that bus depot on the outside, those streets, there was nothing. There was no houses on one side and just a bus depot on the other side, and everything was shut down.
Right.
So if you walk in the street, there were always like 2 or 3 parked cars, and there was some dark lights there. And you'd see like feet walking on the ceiling of the car, from the inside. You just.
What did he do? Hello.
For some reason, it muted. And I saw exactly what it did too.
Okay.
I don't know why it does that by itself. Even the programmer saying, "Lance, shut up." You know.
Oh yeah. So you see feet walking on the car ceiling, on the car thing, whatever.
I've seen that a lot. You know, and there's another street on 165th Street behind 116th Avenue, where it was next to the train tracks, where it couldn't be paved off as a real street, but it was a road back there. And it was kind of dangerous, but if you walk back there, guaranteed, you're always seeing something funny.
Wait a minute. 116th Avenue.
And 165th Street in Jamaica, Queens, right next to the train tracks.
I can't visualize that. I can't visualize
because there's streets at the end, in the back, and around. Like if you pull up
on the map, down by I know where you're talking. Down by Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Okay, I know where you're talking.
Heard that name in years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you'd see people. If you go around there 4 or 5 in the morning, like when we always used to get together and go to the club. And I wasn't a club person, but at 17, 18 years old, I'd go with folks who were in their early 20s and slip in. And so we always used to go to that place called The Scene, Rochdale Village. And that was like below Foch on Guy Brewer, formerly New York Boulevard.
Right.
So come out of there 4:30. I thought I was a grown man, had a girlfriend waiting for me. She's there. Because I would hang out with a sister and the other 3 girls who the pastor was screwing, right? So I would hang out with them. And sometimes my old girlfriend's like, "Well, you go with them. I'm going to stay home." I'm like, "Man, I want to go hear the music."
Right.
Boom, 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 boom. More bounce to the ounce of them. They're dancing like I got all these muscles, right? And so we come home, or we come back home, right? I was allowed to stay there. It was like, the parents looked the other way, like I'd be there late or something more. At first, you kind of hang out on the front porch that's enclosed, the couch and everything like that. And then you go to the basement. They never ask for you then after that.
And why the parents look the other way? How old was she?
No. She was older than me. I mean, she's like a year older than me. Like if I was 17, she was already 18. And no. Wasn't no look the other way like with some young, I didn't do that. No way. Look, I was 16, 17, checking out chicks 23, 24. No way.
Okay.
Younger. Never stopped. No. Oh no.
Okay.
Just wasn't that way.
You're still checking the older women then?
If I ever got caught checking anything out, it would be that.
You get killed.
like when they were teasing me with Rick James' song 17, they changed the words around. Well, Lance, we will never see you as an older guy looking at somebody young. Your song would be, she was only 70, 70, and she was sexy. Years old.
More bounce to the ounce was my ish. Oh yeah, are you still here? Hey.
Oh yes, Veneto, Italy. Yes. Soon I'll be doing more Ghanaian footage around when I get my next GoPro, and I'll be able to just do walkthroughs and make you feel at home. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Having that.
Is that somebody on who are you talking to?
Is which one is it? No, but it's got to be either. No, he's on the YouTube. Apparently, you didn't see it pop up yet. Because I only have one YouTube channel broadcasting now, not the other 2. You see? Aggie Stefan.
Oh, okay. I said, J.E., why are you being hard on yourself? Come on. Tonight is comedy night. I mean, partial comedy night.
Into, right?
Yeah. Partial comedy night. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not that serious.
Yeah, we're good, I'm talking out of my head right now.
You sure are. Jesus.
Serious show, and then all of a sudden it's like
I know.
Anything goes.
You might have to take this up off of YouTube and chop it in 2.
I know,
right? Give Nurse Nevaeh her time.
Exactly. She's like, what did it morph into? I woke up and checked it out again. The hell you talking about? I just wanted to see what it felt like, right?
I know. It's like, where did 2 hours of change come from? I only did an hour. What?
You saw the Eddie Long picture I drew, right?
I don't know.
Oh, if you like the little hidden messages, you need to go there and check that out.
Hold on. How far down am I going?
I mean, on the
I know it's on the Inkgasm, but I mean,
yeah. Well, just hit one of them and scroll across, and you'll see all the ones on the bottom. Since you like those little hidden messages, I know, I'll just post in the room again.
I'm on the site. I mean,
okay, I'm just seeing if anybody else wants to see it. But yeah, and I was just kind of scrolling through, and it was like, okay, I know you'll like that one. But with TD Jakes in it, I put some detail into that. I'm surprised you didn't see that.
I wasn't really going across anymore. I had kind of stopped.
Mm-hmm.
But how far do I have to go? I mean,
well, you see a big face of Eddie Long on his knees, and
okay. Well, let me just keep scrolling. I'm
across,
sure, yeah. This one here, the Swiss cheats. Oh, you are a mess.
You didn't see that one yet?
I've seen all of them, I think, but at some point, you go back and you look at it again.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. The Clit Club, LANCESCURV. Jesus Christ! I
didn't think I put that. I got a lot of that's not even up there. That was a scribbling.
My
that was
God.
a quick scribbling.
Help me! Help me!
Like that picture.
Oh, really?
Like, club called the Clit Club. I'm like, oh man, I'm serious. There was somebody who contacted me from somewhere like in Mississippi or somewhere. Yo, dog, I like that, man. I'm gonna hook that one up. But that's our little thing. That's a little code word, Clit Club. Thanks, bro. I'm like, oh man. Pick up to the lesbians in Mississippi. That's funny. Yeah, but look at the Eddie Long picture. Even if you back out of the scroll and look at the whole thing and scroll down till you see it,
I'm going back across because TD Jakes, that one. TD Fricks.
Yeah, keep going down. It's on the left-hand side of the whole. If you're looking at the flat page where they're all laid out, not like the scroll in the bottom, but if you just come out of that, just look at it. It's on the left-hand side.
Well,
yeah, scroll down. You'll see like a face of Eddie Long.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. I wonder if I don't know what Eddie Long looked like anymore. Maybe that's what the problem is.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. You don't have it where it scrolls across the bottom with one big picture in the middle.
I do.
Okay. Well, no, you don't want to go to that. Go back to where Inkgasm starts out, where you see before you clicked anything.
Okay, hold on.
Pull out up in the
all right
corner, right. So you're there now, right? So you have the one with Christopher Dormer where it says feeling patriotic. Stay on the left side. Go down to the second one. Okay, I'm gonna count down to Eddie Long. That's the first one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the left hand side, starting from the top, and then click on that when you see this face.
Oh, that's Eddie Long. Every time I see, who I think it is? Anthony Anderson.
Oh, okay. That was a quick face that I did. I was going to shade it in more, but I had to draw the picture. Like if you see the details in that, when you see the candy cane, you see his pants down around his knees. You see the big joint compound thing, the KY, Holy Lube.
Holy Lube. Lord have mercy. And TD white woman thou art loosed.
No, you didn't. You didn't read enough.
Bowels. I need to come. Oh my God!
No, you got to download it, right click it, and then you can pull it in.
Yeah, and then I can pull it in. Yeah, no.
And you see the wigs hanging up on the wall, right? It says, "Give us this day our daily wig," and it's we wore wigs and stuff.
Oh my God!
Hanging up there too.
Oh my gosh! And the money and the Ford. Listen, I'm gonna have a field day with this stolen tithes and offerings.
I did that.
Pimping made what is pimping made easy or pimping something easy?
Oh, let me see. You got the Boule stolen tithes and offerings. Oh, you're pimping it easy. Yeah. And then you have the Ambien, the sleeping stuff in that little bottle right there when you give the kids to fall asleep.
So he can my Lord. Guys, y'all have to really when you look at Brother Lance artwork, you really have to pull. If you're not careful, he's probably got stuff written in Eddie Long's hair.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
You know, or go into the eyes because there might be stuff written in the eyes too. You know, you just never know.
Holy lube.
Holy lube. 666 on the watch face. Oh God.
But you get rewarded with these details, right?
Star of David on the necklace, sort of pentacle, whatever that is.
And
the belt loop looking like a penis.
No. There's a belt loop, but the act has nothing to do with the belt loop. That's a candy cane coming from
the candy cane, but that little thing peeking out, you know.
Oh, okay. Even I forgot about that.
Even you forgot about that.
We used to the name of the church, right? On the sign back there.
Yeah, afterbirth. Oh God, over 25,000.
New birth, but I said afterbirth.
You really went in on this one.
Oh, I gotta tell you a fact. I had a special app which I can always put on. It kind of slows down the loading time of the site. His actual church, the offices there, like you could tell, like if it was like, say for example, if it was a private house and you have your internet, I'll just see on that app what internet service you have and what town and city and your IP address at this particular. It wasn't an app like an app for a phone. It was actually a program installed on the computer to tell me where the hits are coming from.
Right.
So it was New Birth, Baptist Church. It said it in the thing, and certain times they must have popped in like 15 times. Like people who were members there who had access to the computer or who were in the office. Who knows if it wasn't him?
What?
You never know. But it was actually them from on the church grounds, on one of the computers there. You know what I mean? So you never know.
Wow.
Yeah, and I pointed out to a friend and said, "Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, look at that. Wow." And I don't know if I think there's a blog article that I wrote. Now let me see if I can pull it up, because I think
it's probably like, who this man drawing me and putting me out there like this.
Let me see. I did do it. I have to really dig.
Okay.
Really, really dig for that. But I know I took the screenshot and uploaded it to that particular page where I wrote the article.
Who's still here with us? Who's still here? Everybody's still here? My screen froze. My chat room froze. I was like, wait a minute. No movement. Yeah.
81 people.
I see that. It went down and, more people came in.
Yeah.
Heard the craziness.
Wait a second. Did I write this article? There's
Oh, Giant, you're still here. Yay.
Okay, who wrote this? Was it me or somebody else?
Oh, Ari said, why are we wailing up Eddie from the grave? His end was shameful. We ain't wailing him up. We're just looking at him. Hello, Chadwick. How are you? Haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you.
How are you?
Yeah.
I have to be really deep.
Oh, you're still here, Melissa? And Queen Murat? Awesome.
Oh. Okay. I did a bunch of Eddie Long videos and stuff like that, because people were asking me about him, because having the blog and stuff, and before I started doing actual videos, I would talk about anything. I'd write about anything. And this guy was like, wrong, right? I'm like, who is that? And this was back from 2006. They told me the real deal about him,
Yeah. Reese, what's happening here? Let's see.
Let me see if this is it.
Sexy 70, Frank Irene. I know, Giant, that one with the woman and the children. What is it? Mama something or the other.
Oh, this is a YouTube video. Who's on this? Let me see something.
But I am not the man that's being portrayed. Tell you.
Yeah.
That's me playing a video.
It is not me.
An old video I did.
Oh, that was your voice?
Structure.
No, that was a video I playing.
From one generation to another. So Jesus hated the doctrine.
I'll share the link.
That bishops can have their own plantations.
I can't. I missed those yellow stripes. But if you play that, it was like 3 hours and something long. So I don't even know who was on it. It was somebody else talking. That's the link right there to the site. And just play the video right there.
Right.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Just so you see time go by and what you did and stuff like that. You know, it's amazing. I just let people talk. I was just.
Godfather, he makes a donkey sound. The donkey, in many cultures and in much folklore, the donkey is associated with Satan. So I document in the first book how all of these black bishops, when they join up with the Roman Catholic Church, and I give the documentation, I give the history.
Wow.
The book has 200 footnotes. Make a statement. I'm not just talking how they're talk.
Wow. It's 3 hours and 22 minutes and 50 seconds. That was back in 2017.
Okay.
But that's long after, you know, but still people that wrote books and stuff wanted to talk about it and everything. So it's always something.
Yeah, man.
Work that I forgot about. Dang. I used to come home from work and do these long shows. You know, just amazing. Great journey. I'm going to wrap it down soon. Get some sleep. I'm still going to jump up early. We will do something tomorrow. And
we will.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to another episode of the LANCESCURV Show. I don't have to tell you. You already know. It's an old one. Bishop Eddie Long passed away today, 63. Now, many who have passed through this corner of cyberspace know that I've done several shows on Eddie Long, and I'm not here to gloat. I'm not here to make fun of. I'm not here to it's somebody passing away, because no matter how a person's lived their life or what dirty little secrets that they had that are exposed, I know I haven't lived a perfect life. And I know I have dirty little secrets that have been on display. So I'll drop that link. I'm gonna get out of here. But you know, a lot of folks don't get to the bottom of the crates or stuff years ago because we're putting out new stuff all the time. So
yeah.
I'll drop some old links and
we said we were gonna revisit one of my videos, my shows, but you know, we still haven't done that yet.
Yeah, right. We got to do that. Maybe we can. We got an idea with that. We'll talk about. You know,
all right.
That's. I got so many ideas this week that hit me to kind of push the content in a very unique way. It's always about really staying ahead of the curve. I don't compete with anybody, but I'm in my own lane, and we're in our own lane, and we present things different. I don't look sideways. You know. You know, it is what it is. Oh, you didn't like the hazard? Well, I mean, I'm still going to incorporate a piece of that for old time's sake, but it's going to be so much more new stuff.
You didn't like that, Giant? What?
You know?
What?
But it was I liked it, but I had it on every wall in that little room. And so
it was all the way around? Oh, okay.
It was all the way around, yeah. And I had shows where I had multiple cameras and people sitting around the table, and you'd see it. And it was cool in there and everything, but
how long did it take you to do that?
Not long because I didn't. Well, yeah. If you added it up, it didn't take long. I just measured everything on the wall. I made it where, as it went around the room, the line on the bottom didn't miss. It was perfectly level. I had to have an exact angle, just consistent throughout the whole place. And it was some really heavy. It was like a gloss enamel, not gloss really. Yeah, glossy, the black, but it took long. It was enamel to dry. The whole house stunk. I mean, I would have to. There was a window behind some points where I had covered it with a YouTube logo that was in front of a window. I blocked it out. But at some points when I first started, I'd have to open that window and just close the door and just let it dry all night. It was real strong. It took 3 days for it to dry, some of those enamels. It was tacky, and it got, when it dried, it was so hard. Then you put like the yellow over it, to kind of on a psychological level, take something that's already in existence and make it your own. Where people see the hazards, like, man, I'm driving on the street. I'm thinking about your show because I see the hazards,
Right.
So I'm going to incorporate a piece of that in my new situation when it's completed, but then it's not going to go all the way around. But there'll be a corner that I can jump in and, it'll look exactly like that, but it won't be the whole. I have much more space now. But I'm going to set things up in a very unique way. It's going to feel like a sports bar, a club, a place where you can do live streams, all that stuff. Yeah, reality is coming. So I'm very looking forward to it. Very much so. But the Giants, you expect that? No. You tell me like it is, how you feel. Maybe if you didn't tell me, I would have did like half of it like that in the future. Now maybe I'll do like one little corner that I could jump in for nostalgic purposes. I still want to keep that as something that you associate with the channel. You know what I mean? So I want all feedback, and I want people to feel as though they have a say so, because you all will be looking at stuff as we create. So you're part of it.
Exactly.
Because if it's something you don't like, you're not going to want to come around and see it, or yeah. I love that.
Off topic. I think starting October 1st, you're gonna have to have that needle prick to.
Yeah, they say that. I heard.
For to get an immigrant visa.
Wow. Yeah, that's something. So
man, what the hell is? What is happening? What is happening?
Well, all I can say, y'all, get an envelope with $1,000 or whatever monetary way that your currency is, and the equivalent of $1,000. Have an envelope and go somewhere and be like, listen, I got this envelope here, and I need some paperwork to prove that I took the jab. I need just the paperwork. Here, give me the documents. If it can be done like that, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Lines, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. I don't know. Did I just sing? I know I'm tired because I don't even believe I just.
Where you can sleep under the table, and that's the norm here. Shoot, you think I ain't gonna try? I got the paperwork, y'all. I took the jab. Oh no, I've been slipping jabs like a good boxer. Not getting it.
Oh.
Yeah, you gonna start talking out your head, and
I know. It's about time.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump up in about 4 hours.
What did I just say,
right now?
Reese? Listen, Mr. AR, don't start laughing. Don't start laughing, Mr. AR. Don't start laughing. Reese, I can't speak it out loud, so yeah, but immigrants are gonna have to prove that they are what they are.
Wow.
I hit that note, didn't I, Giant? I sure did. I have my time. Boy, I'm tired. I'm
My alarm was
hungry.
going to go up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
And you're just gonna turn around and go back to sleep. You're just gonna be
I
like,
wish I would. I'm
you
gonna
have to get up?
and head out. No, I don't have to, but I want to. I won't be tired. I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah. It's a signal that I want to send to my brain, and I can come back later on and rest. You know what I mean? No, I'm gonna be up
You
and
sure?
rested and everything. Oh,
Okay.
positive. Been doing it.
All right.
You know?
Okay. All right. Well, guys, we could talk some more, but Brother Lance, I forgot to bed.
Well, we'll do more shows tomorrow. And like I said, during my week, midnight is my bedtime, but I stayed up a little longer. But 8 o'clock is my wake up time. So I'm gonna wake up the same time.
Okay.
If you don't do one, you got to get the other.
True,
and if you're up for it, then we'll do something, later on.
Yeah.
That happens. But I have so much enthusiasm, but I'm gonna pull it back a little bit and do a little thing.
I'll be a sport, and if you, you can't call me. I just remember. Oh damn! I was gonna say if you want to, I'll be a sport and wake up at 4. But
oh God, no, that's too much for you. No, you can't do that. You got to get your rest.
Just because. But anyways, have a good night, guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Yes,
It was really beautiful. We got a little Friday night something, and that was nice. Giant, I love you. I love the fact that you stick around and you add color to this. And Melissa, thank you, sweetie, for being here. Eric, you too. JEAR, Chadwick, and Reese, thank you, sweetie. And everybody else that might, Ari, thank you, Thomas, everybody that stuck around with us. Thank you for being here. Love you guys.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Oh, it's too loud. Let me turn it down a little bit.
You just made it louder.
No, I just did. So this is low now?
This is higher.
Okay, let me pull it back down low.
Oh my gosh.
It's loud? Oh wow. And I have it all the way down in the
Well, maybe it's just in my head. I don't know how it is in your house, but it's fine.
Okay, no. I see what it is. Say something again.
Hello, hi.
Okay, yeah. It's on the same track. I see what's happening. No problem. Yeah. But anyway, Empress LG and everybody here. We'll be back up and rolling in a few more hours, and hopefully we have Danina on once I confirm it. She hasn't answered back yet. So we're still going to have goodies and treats and fun and footage and different things. And matter of fact, I'm still going to put up that other show that we did just for the heck of it for those who want to, enjoy it and whatnot. So sometimes you got to wait and sometimes you don't want to wait. So let me I didn't even tag this up yet or get it ready, but I can still have it go up. And what I'm going to do while we have the music playing, I'll tag it up afterward. But what I'll do, I'll set it up as it's 4:05 right now. I'll set it up as a premiere for 10 more minutes. And so that's what I'm going to do. Let me just set that up. And it will come on as Mrs. SCURV and myself talking and speaking about some different things. Got comical and normal and serious and all that stuff. So I'm setting it up now as a link that I can drop in the room for those who want to stick around and kind of check that out. And I'll make it come on for 10 more minutes.
All right.
So I'll play a little music and let that go. So there'll be another chat room coming for those who want to hang out a little more. And I'll perfect this. But here is a link. Give me a second to make it happen. That'll be a good send-off. Okay, here it is.
Oh, really, AR? He said my voice sounds good over the beat. Oh, nice.
G in the house.
Yeah.
Quiet as a mouse, pussy strong as a bird.
Yeah.
When she speaks, I feel like I'm smoking herb. Whatever. No, I'm just. Land of the free, home of the slave.
For real, for real, for real.
They treat us like slaves.
Mm-mm.
None of us are boxers, but they want us to take the jab.
Listen, stop it.
Yeah, I got to go back and see that song in the morning time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but there's a link that's going to come on at 4:15, it's 4:07, so we'll play music right up into that time, and then we'll just knock it. You know what I mean? So there's a link, yo. If you want to hear that conversation and get in the chat room, if you're up, you want to keep on vibing with everybody, there is the link. Yes.
Bye, y'all.
The music got me stuck. Let me turn it up a little bit. Yes. I let this roll for a few minutes before. Oh yes, Sister Hope Rice, you got the alert from the video that's going to come on at 4:15. I'll drop that link again because we're about to end it right here. We've been on for almost 4 hours on this one, but we're going to drop the link again so you can get right to that other show. Much love.
I got money busting out the money clip. Make a call and hit another lick. Yeah. Turn a 10 piece to a 20 quick. I got money busting out the money clip. Make a call and hit another lick. Someone get the money counter, I can keep on thumbing it. Turn a 10 piece to a 20 quick. I got money busting out the money clip. Make a call and hit another lick. Someone get the money counter, I can keep on thumbing it. Okay, I'ma hit the 20 off a laptop. In a Zoom meeting, making money is my backdrop. Ballpoint base hit harder than a slap shot. Flew out my baby, told her rub me like I'm Epcot. Whoa, whoa, I've been doing road on the go, get it back and flip it, that's for sure, yeah, for sure, show. That was never talk about nothing. Turn it down and go get you some money. Turn a 10-piece to a 20 quick. I got money busting out the money clip. Make a call and hit another lick. Someone get the money counter, I can keep on coming in. Turn a 10-piece to a 20 quick. I got money busting out the money clip. Make a call and hit another lick. Someone get the money counter, I can keep on coming in. I was on the money, my brothers got my back. Streets moving funny, so I been holding strap. Not playing defense, we been on the attack. Plotting and scheming, how we gon' get it back. Designer all on you when you can buy the swag. No mirrors, those foo-foo, I see the tag. You can bet if I spending this cause I get it back. I'm 5G, $1, I can see the lag. All I ever wanted was to have it all. Got close, never froze, had to risk it all. As a little boy, I wish I was a little tall. Never made the league, I find other ways to let me ball. Turn a 10-piece to a 20 quick. I got money busting out the money clip. Make a call and hit another lick. Someone get the money counter, I can keep on coming in. Turn a 10-piece to a 20 quick. I got money busting out the money clip. Make a call and hit another lick. Someone get the money counter, I can keep on coming in.
And we have one more minute before the other show starts. I'm going to hit this off now. Sorry to be so abrupt, but we're going to start up right now at 4:15 on this link that has just dropped in. So hit the link and everybody populate the the comment section. And we're going to have a nice little show, nice little discussion, but we can still get in the chat room. I'm going to jump on there right now just for a few, and we're going to wrap it up. Here we go.